Been dragging the bottom for oh so long, but I can feel that power running strong. It's in the air.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Don't Unfriend Me show. Matt Spear in the house. I'm solo. That's empty house. I think it's the first time this has been empty since the new set, so this is a little weird. Not gonna lie, feeling a little lonely. Looking down at the empty seats. It's all right. You guys will have to keep me company. Make some phone calls. Call into the show. Phone lines are open. We'll have the phone number up for you when we get to the next main scene. Got some stuff to talk about tonight. Hillary Clinton back in the news. Again. Will this be the piece de la resistance that sees her have some accountability for her actions? We'll see. Everyone else is crazy and upset. Brennan, Tapper, they're all flipping out. Hi, Santana. You're having dinner with your son. Go have dinner with your son. We'll be on when you're done, hopefully. So we got a bunch to talk about. We're going to talk about it. Donald Trump had some things to say to reporters. Candace Owens is completely off the rails, talking to Harvey Weinstein. Oh, I can't even begin. That it's such a sad thing. Folks, we'll see you in 3 minutes. Get excited. We're going to have a good show tonight. See you then.
Hey guys, Barry Morgenstein, America's headshot photographer, coming to you from my New York City studio. Great friend of the Dumb Show. It is now time to put down the camera because it's almost 7 p.m. and I'm gonna watch the coolest, the most real and raw show on the internet. It's on every night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with the coolest guys, Matt, Olivia, Leroy, and Amy. You guys have to tune in to see it. It's gonna be something incredible every night. Check it out.
Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Don't Unfriend Me show. Matthew Spear. Olivia has the night off. So does Leroy and Amy. Leroy is going on a cruise. Go figure, a Navy guy going on a cruise. Never. Not a chance. You could never catch me on a cruise. Did that. Done. Been there. Done that. Nope. No desire. No, not me. But Leroy is going to be going on a cruise, so I'm sure he will enjoy that, and I hope he has a good time. But not here tonight. We'll be here tomorrow. I miss my brother from another mother, but we'll somehow move on. Matt, you should make cutouts of Olivia and Amy and Leroy when they aren't with you. Oh, I like that idea. That's a fantastic plan. You know what? I really don't need to do cutouts. All I need to do is get their photograph, and I can just superimpose it like I do Leroy's. And yes, that's what I will do. I will get their image on a green screen, and yes, done, sold. I love it. Great idea. So yeah, Leroy's out of town tonight. We'll be taking your phone calls. You want to 276-200-2105. We've been taking a lot of calls lately, and figured we would continue to do that, especially since I'm running solo tonight. We'll try to get all our topics. The last 2 nights has kind of been a conundrum. We're not going to do that. We're going to start it right away because we need to. It's been enough of the craziness the last couple of nights. I don't know if you guys had a chance to check. We'll start off with a funny. If you didn't see this tonight, Elizabeth Warren took a digger. And her Indian name is definitely not stands with a fist. She took a tumble, and she was on the Senate floor, and it looked like she was going behind to reach behind and stable herself, and it looks like she thought it was something that would hold her weight, but it didn't, and she went backwards. And here is the video of it. It's kind of funny. This is the spoof, which we just put up on the show, which is doing really well. It's doing like 10,000 views. Here it is. I got to get sound on. Olivia's not here. Go figure. Oh, make sure to share, like, and subscribe, please. Thank you. We appreciate it. Let's start that over. Here it is.
Beautiful.
In the affirmative. Baldwin, Blood Rochester, Durbin, Heinrich.
Democratic Party needs a wake-up call.
Oh my God. Yeah, pretty priceless. Listen, I don't like to see people fall. But I make exceptions. And Frederick says, did you mention to Matt about putting the Don't Unfriend Me logo on golf balls? You know what? I would if it wasn't so incredibly expensive, because I don't know if it's Titleist or TaylorMade or Ping or Nike or whatever, Under Armour, they're expensive. And if people will pay the price, but I just can't imagine people are going to pay the price for that. I can check, but I don't think I'm going to have Don't Unfriend Me golf balls. No, I just don't think so. I don't think there's enough market for it. But we do have something new that just came out today, and it's very funny that you said so. Olivia came up and said, hey, Matt, we need to make this shirt. And I didn't quite know what to think of it until I started playing around with the design. And, I'll tell you what, I think it's pretty good. Here it is. And it's now available on the Dumb Show. People have been asking for kids shirts. Well, we have them. And we've only got 2. There's plenty of colors. But there are 2 youth shirts. And it's the Trumplican shirt, which is the GOP elephant. And obviously with kids writing it, it says Trumplican. And we've got them available. They're great shirts. They're actually a decent price, $22.45. I'm sure you guys get it. And you can get yourself a Trumplican shirt. There's no Don't Unfriend Me branding or anything like that, because I wanted to be able to wear it without getting harassed at school or anything else. So it's simple. It's just a GOP elephant with Trump's hair, and I think it'll do well. So if you have not had a chance to pick that up, go over to the Dumb Show. You can save 15% on the entire site right now, Dumb 15. We're doing that through summer and trying to help out. So do me a favor, go over there to thedumbshow.com and pick yourself up a shirt. Pretty simple. Yes, I can show the logo closer. Yes, I'm working on it. Bear with me. Where did it go? No, that's not it. Sorry. I didn't think someone was going to ask. I thought it was big enough, but apparently not. It's no big deal. I just got to find the damn folder. I've got a lot of folders. And when I mean a lot, I'm saying a lot of folders. This is a fairly big image. So here's the shirt up close. Wireless collar already. This should be interesting. Usually these don't turn out well. There's the shirt. Take a look. And the Trumplican shirt. And there it is. Red, white, and blue. And all ready for you. All right. So we got a caller. Who's calling?
Hey, Matt. Frank.
Hi, Frank. What's up, buddy?
Oh, got a couple of things to discuss with you.
Okay.
One of the things is, when your phone goes off, when somebody calls in,
Mm-hmm.
it's really loud. Is there any way to drop the decimals on that a little bit?
That's up to Zoom, but yeah, let me look.
Oh, okay. I mean, if you can't handle it, that's fine. It's
not
one of those things.
Yeah, not being able to handle it. Let me see here. Just hold on. See a woman.
I mean, it is really loud.
Yeah, I'm aware.
Like when it comes on, I get startled by it.
All right, well, hold on a second.
Okay.
So the speaker goes there. See, it won't let me hear incoming call ringtones on additional devices. Ooh, maybe I can turn it here. Nope. See, I'm doing. See, the output volume isn't working. And I'm gonna dedicate just a few more seconds to this, and see if there's.
Well, maybe it's just fixed on their end.
Well, no, because there is output. Hold, just give me a couple more seconds. Ringtones. Set up ringtones and the notification and sound settings. There we go. Ringtone volume. See, dude?
Hey.
Call waiting volume. Let's go ahead and do that. And video calls. Custom contact ringtone. Oh, this is so good. We could have it play the Don't Unfriend Me song. Direct number.
Look at you.
Let's see. Let's see if we do this. Hold on. Well, that's much better. How about this? No, that's bullshit. We're not doing that one.
I like the ringtone you got.
Well,
It's just that it's
listen,
so
Frank, you
loud.
went down this road. Hold on.
Okay.
We've got a bunch of neat songs here. I want to see. How about beat?
Got any
That's like 24 almost. Okay. How about we just do this?
Enter Sandman?
Yeah. Well, no, I was gonna do. Okay, and that's really loud still, right? How about now?
I don't know. I can't tell. I'm on the phone and I've got my volume turned
Okay,
down.
let me see what it does. Let me see if it clips. Hold on. Oh yeah, that looks like it's not clipping now. So here, this is what we're gonna do. You're gonna hang up and you're gonna call back, and then we'll do this again. Okay? Do that.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. All right, so folks, we're going to test this out because it's loud in my ear too. And then we're going to see what Frank wants. And, well, that's much better. That's much better. Yeah, that's much better, dude. We fixed it. Okay,
cool.
So there you go. Now you can
All right,
complain
man.
about something
It
else.
was just something that I've been going through for the last 3 months, and I'm like, God, I got to let him know about this because maybe I'm the only one that it affects as far as the volume, or maybe nobody else even notices it.
Right.
But I just had to bring it up to you.
Good. Glad you did.
So here's point number 2.
Okay.
C.S. Dixon was on the end of Alex Jones again today.
Okay, it's not Alex Jones. You got to stop saying that because that got him in trouble. So he's not on Alex Jones's show. He's on somebody Williams' show.
No.
Yeah.
Trust me when I tell you this.
He said no.
It was. I was watching InfoWars.
Okay.
And the last 4 1-hour segments. The 4th hour at about, oh God, I'm on Eastern time, so it would have been 3:45, 3:50ish. TS calls in. He says, "Okay, we got a call from TS in Florida." Right away, I knew who it was.
Okay, so did this? Okay, so I got to ask some questions. Did this happen the other day too? Was it just like this?
No.
Okay, so you were wrong the other day when you said he was on Alex Jones. He wasn't. He was on a Williams guy, something other show, which isn't Alex Jones.
Matt, I swear to God, and I swear on my children and my grandchildren.
Frank, it's not necessary.
He was on the Alex Jones show.
Okay, so
on,
I need you.
On
Okay,
InfoWars,
Frank, stop. So what I need you to do is I need you to send me. I had to cut our show because I opened with that, and I'm like, oh my God, you were on Alex Jones. And he's like, no, I wasn't, and I had to cut it out of the show. So this has already been discussed with him. So what I need you to do is I need you to send me an email and tell me exactly what you just said so I can send it to TS, because he's like, no, I am absolutely not on Alex Jones' show in any way, shape, or form. He went back and listened to the show and he's like, I am not on this show. So I don't know what's going on. He was on is there a guy named Williams or something like that who's on there?
No, not that I'm aware of. I was watching InfoWars.
Okay, but you understand it's not just InfoWars. You understand that Alex Jones has multiple people who work for him and they have other shows, right?
Okay.
So what he's saying is I was on the Alex Jones network on somebody else's show, but if he literally was, I need you to send that to me in an email so I can get it to TS so he can go back and listen to it, okay?
Okay. So,
cool.
So how is he talking directly to Alex Jones then? Because this is my third point that I was going to bring up.
I don't know.
Alex Jones is the worst interviewer in the world.
Yeah, he's also a pretty horrible human being too.
Huh? I'm sorry?
He's also a pretty horrible human being.
Yeah, well, that I don't know because I don't know the guy personally. All I know.
Well, I don't know when you say that children who were murdered at Sandy Hook and have their parents doxxed and death threats for them for committing a hoax. Do you think that is a good person, Frank?
No, not at all.
All right, so he's a piece of shit.
I never heard any of that, so I can't substantiate it.
Okay, well, he's a piece of shit.
You know, I can go off of what I hear him say and how he presented it. And he's very convincing. You know, he's a showman. I'll give him that. But my main point was that he cut TS off. He cuts everybody off. They're in the middle of a thought. And Alex always has to, before they're 3/4 of the way through their thought, always has to interject his own thoughts.
Yeah.
Kind of like to one-up them a little bit.
He
and
does
say,
that.
well,
He
I'm
does
a
it a
little
lot.
bit smarter than... It's so freaking aggravating that I just get annoyed with him and I flip him off right away. I'm like, no, I can't listen to this anymore.
Yeah,
and it really aggravated me because I thought he disrespected me.
Having an interview is difficult to do, and trust me, with TS, there were times I wanted to jump in and roll over him, and I didn't. It's hard, and you know, it's not easy, and then it's also hard being interviewed because, you know, when I did the RSBN interview, I was like, well, do I want to go off? When he's like, what's going to bring the country together? You know, the answer is truly this, is that, you know, people need to start being put underneath the bottom of the prison in the political realm. I mean, that's the answer. If you want this country to get back to what it is, I mean, they've removed religion, they've removed family values, they're destroying the impoverished areas of our country. They're spending money so recklessly, $275,000 per American to pay back the debt. I mean, we're being destroyed by the politicians of this country who are doing the bidding of the central banks and the CEOs. That's the answer. Do I say that on RSBN? Probably not.
I totally agree with you. That's exactly what's going on. My point was that I've listened to your interviews. You know when to shut the fuck up and let the other person talk and then come in with your retort.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan does the same thing. He shuts the fuck up.
Yeah, he does.
He lets the people state their mind, and then he comes in with his retort. Alex Jones is nothing like that. To me, the impression I get is that, like I said before, when somebody is 3/4 of the way through their thought, he's got to come in. You know,
it sounds just like him. Sounds just like him.
He's got to be smarter than they are, and that's what pisses me off about his interviews. I think he's horrible.
Yeah,
when it comes in.
During that Nick Fuentes interview, I wanted, everyone's like, you know, he was a masterful interview. And I'm like, no, it's not. He always wanted to interject his opinion. Listen, I don't like Alex Jones as far as a person. I would love to hang out and have a beer with him. But he has said too many things that have been untrue for me to take him serious. I just don't take him serious. And now he's hosting, you know, he's red pilling, right? So he's all over Nick Fuentes' nuts, and he's hosting that, and he's starting to move towards the Jews in negative fashion, just like the rest of these people are, because listen, we're going back to October 7th, 2 years ago, like I said. And what I said was two things are going to happen. Israel is going to flatten what they consider to be Palestine/Gaza, and every single person who is caught in there after the next 30 days will either be dead, dying, or fleeing. They are not going to hold back, and they are going to flatten that territory and turn it into a dust bowl. They did. And the second thing I said is you're about to find out how much the world hates the Jews. And that's also true. And you're seeing it. And all the grifters are doing it. I mean, I got a Candace Owens clip that you're going to see today, Frank. It's going to make you throw up, where Candace Owens is talking to Harvey Weinstein. And she tries to bait him into saying that he was set up by the Jews. And she is just doing, I wonder who it could be. I wonder if they use kosher salt on the table. I wonder if they have ever played with dreidels. You know, she's trying to, like, she doesn't say that, but you get my point. She's laying breadcrumbs. And then he's like, no, it's the Sauds and the Qatarians who purchased all my anthology. And she's just like, oh, well, let's not talk about that because that doesn't fit my narrative. So these people are all doing this, and Alex Jones is doing this as well. And he has to go, in his opinion, with the ebb and the flows of where the ocean and the motion's going. And right now there's a very large online contingency of about 2 million people who absolutely hate Jews. And then there's another group of about 3 to 4 million people who are red-pilled simply because those people hate Jews and they're Muslim. So you've got a very large population on X that it's just literally everything is anti-Semitic shit. And what's hilarious is that I went after Candace Owens on X the other day and I got a strike. And I'm like, why did I get a strike? Because I'm sitting here calling her out where she's saying it's always the Jews. And I said, hey, Candace, you're about 5 minutes away from blaming the tsunami and the earthquake on the Jews. I'm sure Joos is how I spell it. And Twitter comes back and goes, that's anti-Semitic. I said, what the? I'm calling a person who is one of the most anti-Semitic people on the frickin' platform out. And you guys are giving me a strike? So, you know, it's useless, dude. And Alex Jones is yesterday's news. He's not Rush Limbaugh. He never was. And he did some interesting things when he was younger. And ever since then, he's been wrong. So, and everyone goes, oh, he's always right. No, he's not. No, he's not. So that's it. Sorry, I went off.
Well, can I talk?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no, go ahead. I'm a little fired up over this, dude. I'm just a little fired up.
I totally get it. I love your perspective on things. That's why I watch you religiously. I don't miss a night, and that's the truth.
Well, thanks, buddy.
But here's the thing. People are hating the wrong thing. They shouldn't be hating the Jews. They shouldn't be hating the Palestinians. They shouldn't be hating the Russians. What they should be hating, or at least disagreeing with and not putting up with, are the politics. It's all politics. And those are the people that are driving this whole perspective on how people look at things. It's not the Jewish people. I'm sure are wonderful people. There's no doubt in my mind. Americans are wonderful people. Mexicans, go on down the line. The people are good. It's the people that are leading them that have their agendas that are fucking everything up for everybody. Sorry for the language.
No, I don't mind. The language doesn't bother me. I just that's fine. Can I ask you a question?
Absolutely.
Great. Was Hiroshima and Nagasaki justified?
Oh man, that's a tough one.
Just answer the question. Just yes, yes or no. No, yes or no. I need a yes or no on these because I've got like 5 more. Yes or no. Was Nagasaki and Hiroshima justified?
I'm going to say no based on the fact
No, just say no. Okay. Right. No. Frank, listen, my show, my rules. No is fine. No is an acceptable answer. People need to learn that the word no is okay. So good job. What about Dresden, England, when the Royal Air Force and the United States Air Force literally leveled Dresden, which was essentially the Beverly Hills of Germany, and liquefied, anywhere from the numbers of 50,000 to 240,000 people, rich families with kids that all went into the basements. And when they pulled the basement doors open, it was liquefied goo. They literally melted people. The fires got so hot. Was that justified?
Absolutely not.
What about Iraq? Between Biden, between Obama, between Bush, we've killed 1 million Muslims overseas in the Middle East. 1 million. Let me
No.
say it again. Is it justified?
No. Because
okay,
they
well,
were
all right.
politically-
What about the Spanish-American War? Was that justified?
I have no knowledge on that. However, I will say, just because it was a war, no.
Okay. So
Because again, politically based.
okay, so your thoughts are there is never a justification to go to war.
I think there's never a justification to kill people.
Really?
And that's my thought. Well, sometimes it is justified based on what was going on at that time. Maybe you are justified, maybe you're not. I don't know. Again, I am not as historically rich in knowledge as you are.
All right. Well, let's run through it. Let's run through it together.
Okay.
All right. So,
Absolutely.
do you enjoy speaking English?
Yeah.
Do you enjoy speaking English without a Southern accent?
I don't think I have a Southern accent. I'm Midwest.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy speaking English and not Japanese, German, or Russian?
I would like to have knowledge of those.
Yeah, but you don't want to be speaking them as your national language.
No. I want English to be that is where I was born. That is what I want to speak.
Okay. So is your desire not to have those things be true more than it is to save lives that want to take ours? Would you rather be speaking Japanese and German right now? Or would you?
No.
Okay, so you believe in war. You just don't like it. Is that fair?
Correct.
Great. Then you're on par with every other human being on the planet who's not a complete psychopath. You know what I mean? Because
I don't consider myself a psychopath.
No, I know you don't. But what I'm saying is that you just gave me a reason to have war. You just said no. I don't want to speak Japanese and German. I don't want my country taken over. Okay, so you believe in war. Not as a faith, but you understand that there is a principled reason to have war. You just don't have to agree with it. You don't have to like it. You don't have to surround yourself in it and take a bath in it every day and cheer for it, right?
I will agree with that, yes.
Okay, so then Nagasaki and Hiroshima were justified.
Based on what we were going to see had we not done it.
That's right. There you go.
Yes, I guess I would have to agree with it.
Yeah, another 1.5 million people.
It doesn't mean that I like it.
Right.
But I don't necessarily have to agree with the outcome.
You're absolutely right. Another 1.5 million people would have died. If Japan wouldn't have surrendered, you're literally talking about an indefinite amount of time for war because Russia was moving in. And that means we would have went to war with Russia. The moment that they would have went into Indochina, we would have invaded into Russia. And you're talking millions would die. So was it okay? No. From a human perspective, it was absolutely atrocious to flash boil people like that in Dresden and in Nagasaki and Hiroshima. Horrible, horrible stuff. It was also horrible to throw Christians in pits with lions. Okay. It was also taking small children that were captured by the Cossacks and thrown into fire pits with dogs. All bad stuff. I completely agree. But it's okay to say that war is necessary, but it is a necessary evil. And as long as you say it like that, I think you're a pretty level-headed human being.
Thank you.
But people don't do that, do they? They either say, kill them all, kill the Hamas, murder all the Gazans. They all hate Jews, kill them all. Or people say, kill the Jews. They betrayed Christ and they've been kicked out of 212 countries. And, they are control of the world and they have pedo rings and they're the cabal and, all this bullshit. I have a question. Hold on. The middle ground is it's possible that maybe in the hierarchy of class, phylum, order, KP Kafka's, right? Class, phylum, order, species, genus,
right.
etc. Right. Looking at that on the hierarchy of the kingdom, the overall kingdom of mankind and all animals, that political ideology, religion, or how we feel is probably a very second to last indicator of who we are as people. Like if you were to grab a Bible to try to understand human beings and you were an alien life form, I think you would be very confused. If you were going to grab feudal Japan's history and you were an alien, you would also be very confused. If you were to grab the Quran, you would be very confused. If you grab the Necronomicon, you would be very confused. But if you grabbed a history book written by each group of people across all the continents, the history itself would tell a story that could be easily understood based upon what other people write and their perception. So, for instance, Russia teaches something very different about the Cold War than we do. England and our independence, they say something completely, they have a new name for it. Everything's different. But what you do is that if you read those works, somewhere that is in the middle of that is the truth.
Right.
And when you say Japan dropping the bomb was single-handedly the biggest atrocity ever to happen in the world, I disagree with you. I think not dropping the bomb could have been one of the largest travesties in the world because the United States would not be here to be talking about this. Because we could not fight two wars the way we were and continue. We did not have the military-industrial complex that we do now. We had like the 9th biggest military in the world at the time. We were horribly inadequate. Our naval fleet was inferior. Our Marine Corps was getting absolutely obliterated. Army was not equipped to do this. Air Force and Army Corps had just split and there was confusion on who was doing what and what was doing who. The United States was in a vast land of confusion and it could no longer sustain what it was doing on a multi-front war. We had the economic reason. We did not have the wherewithal to do it again. That's why we didn't go back into Russia. So my point is this, Frank. I respect what you're saying, but there is reason for war. Whether they are moral reasons is really the dilemma. Does that make sense?
I think we're both saying the same thing, Matt.
Okay.
I think we both agree on that point. Okay. And I will always give to you the better point because I know you are way more knowledgeable than I am on my things.
Why?
But,
why do you say that, Frank? Why do you say? Because you're very knowledgeable, and it doesn't take a rocket scientist to have an opinion. You get to have an opinion, and you're not saying this is factual, this is the way it has to be. You're saying, hey, this is my opinion, and you don't have to be a Rhodes Scholar to have an opinion. In fact, I think that's the worst thing. This appeal to authority that we do, where you have to be an expert at everything in order to be able to speak on it. This is how we get churches to start killing scientists and start wanting to go ahead and behead scientists for having different opinions than the Vatican. So I disagree. Appeal to authority is not my shtick, baby. So you have that opinion. Go ahead.
I was making a joke.
I didn't hear what you said. What'd you say?
I said you've never been.
I don't know what that means.
I was referring to that dude that was on Joe Rogan's.
Oh yeah. That English stuffy.
Never been.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, you've never been.
So you
there.
don't know.
Right. Like you don't need to know. You don't need to go to Israel to know what the ocean smells like. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You just
right.
But you do need to understand it as a completely different culture. But like, okay, let me ask. Real quick, when I say Israel, what do you think of immediately? What's the first thing that pops in your head? Just an image. Just call it out.
I think of.
Come on. You're thinking too much. Stop. Go back. Close your eyes. I say Israel. What's the first image that pops in your head? Give me an image, not an ideology, not a religion, but an image of Israel, like something you associate with Israel.
I think of people who are trying to live their own lives.
No, an image, not an ideology, an image. You think of Disneyland, what do you think of? You think of Mickey Mouse. So when you think of Israel, what do you think of?
Jews.
No, image, dude, image.
Oh, man.
An image.
I'm feeling stupid here.
Not Jews, not like, it's not a bunch of people going, and come on, dude. When you think of Disneyland, you think of the castle. You think of Mickey Mouse. You think of fireworks and Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. When you think of Israel and you imagine the place of Israel, what do you imagine?
I imagine a very small country.
There you go.
Either New Jersey.
There you go.
Is trying to.
Yeah, no. I don't want to know what they're trying to do. What's the image?
Okay.
When you think of Israel,
No.
That's a specification. That's geography. That's an almanac. I'm just asking you to tell me when you think of New York, what's the first thing you think of?
Empire State Building.
Great. When you think of Israel, what's the first thing you think of?
The Knesset.
Wow. Okay, cool. That was not what I was expecting. You know what I think of? I'm waiting for you to tell me. Yes. No, wait for you to tell me yes, Matt. I care what you think about. Okay, so let me tell you what I think of it.
Yes, I do care what you think about that.
I think of blue skies. I think of amazing sand that is whiter than white, where every building is. It's just okay. I think of the smell of lamb.
You went way more macro.
Wait a second. No, it's not macro. No. Wait a second. Stop. It's not macro. It's not. I'll tell you why it's not macro. I think of cobblestone streets, but then I also think of massive freeway systems and connected transportation from buses to rail to everything else and beautiful people, right? So just I think of beautiful olive-skinned, black-haired, black-eyed, gorgeous women. That's what I think of Israel. And you want to know why yours is different than mine? Because I've been there.
Right.
So, but wait a second. Yours is just as valuable because tell everyone what you selected because not everyone knows what you selected. So say it again and then explain what that means.
Well, the Knesset is the ruling body of oh God, I don't want to use this word, of Zionist,
right?
Jude, it's all the collective. We have left and right. They have, I don't know how many parties they have, but they're all the ruling body of what goes on in Israel. So as much as I think that is too many choices,
no, it's good.
That is their politics. That's fine. If it works for them, that's great.
Sure.
I don't think it does because you can have too many choices, which splits things up into too many little, we think this and we think that, and nobody can come to any kind. Go ahead.
No, I'm agreeing with you. Everything you're saying, I agree with you, and I can make a real world comparison that has nothing to do with politics, which is antithetical to what we're trying to do. Do you mind if I segue into something else that'll bring us back to this real quick?
Absolutely, please.
Okay, so when I was talking to T.S. Dixon, he was like, listen, we only have 2 phone operating systems in America. We only have 2. And, I wanted to argue with him because he's wrong. We don't only have 2 options. We have 2 that are presented to us, but we have Singular Wireless. You've got AT&T, you've got Verizon, you've got Android, you've got Google, you've got Linux-based, you've got BlackBerry, you've got iPhone.
VoIP.
Right. You've got, VoIP. You've got plenty of options but he's talking about operating systems. And, well, you have to understand is that, a Google operating system and a Windows operating system and a Apple operating system are all 3 of them diametrically opposed to working with each other. So you already have, it's not just 2, you have 3, you actually have 4, you have Linux. There's multiple operating systems that you can use, but there's only ones that are mainstream. But let me explain to you why we only have a few carriers in the United States, and whether that be T-Mobile or would be Verizon or Sprint or AT&T or Nextel or just a couple of others. There's really only about 7 to 8, and then you also have the smaller ones as well, which are like Mint Mobile, and then there's a PCS and all sorts of different smaller carriers. But TS's thoughts is, well, there should more carriers and more operating systems is a good thing for choice and selection. And I completely disagree, because anyone who's been overseas, anyone who's lived in Europe will understand that there's about 285 different carriers. And all of those carriers are in contention with each other to take people's money. And it is an absolute nightmare. There are hundreds of different plans with 300 different carriers, and it is one of the most complicated problems on the planet to get a phone in Europe. It sucks. I think Canada's the same way. And how do I know this? Because not only was I in charge of expanding Xfinity Mobile for NBC Comcast, which that's why they took me from Apple, is so I could go ahead and literally build their stores and run their mobile marketing. And that's what I did. And I was one of the liaisons. I was in Philadelphia. I got to see the secret mobile store that everyone's seen from Xfinity. I got to go into it, sign an NDA, and they gave me a clipboard. They said, blow it apart. And I did. And I literally destroyed it, because I was charged with turning it into an Apple store. So when you go into an Xfinity Mobile and you look at it, I was absolutely an integral part in design of every one of those stores, from where you sit to how you plug in to where the accessories are located, everything. And the reason I bring this up is that experience in Europe is an absolute kerfuffle. It is a cluster of epic proportions, because there are so many choices. Retailers have to literally get in bed with certain companies, and it's just a free-for-all. So when you have that many choices, it becomes overwhelming for people. Okay, we don't have a lot of carriers in Canada. Good. My understanding was Europe. I didn't know about Canada. But the point is that we tried to expand into Europe after it was so successful, and we can't, because it is literally that difficult. So I'm agreeing with you when you're talking about Israel and its parliament and its system. It's contradictory, because so many opposing forces split and divide majority and the singular that nothing ever gets done. And right. It's antithetical in the United States, because you have two opposing forces with equal mass pushing towards the center, and physics tells you that neither are going to budge. That's what you get with a two-party system. There needs to be a balance in between. So I was just supporting your thoughts.
Well, I agree with you 100%. And to me, this is no different than the Canadian Parliament or the British Parliament.
Right.
You have so many people that are so many choices that it becomes just, you can't make a choice, because none of them, you have to form alliances, and you have to get people to agree with you in order to form a coalition.
Right.
It's just insane.
Well, listen, all government is like this, and all government has been this way. This is why our original government worked. But once you entered political action committees, and once you started having special interest groups come in and alter the decision of a politician to remove their priorities and their obligations to the constituents, and then reverse it to their almighty dollar and their pocketbooks. Once politicians were able to decide the ebbs and flows of the dollars going in and out of states, our country was doomed. And it will never
Right.
stop until the states should be responsible for the regulation of their money. The federal government, if it's going to give any money to the states, should be given to the treasurer and given to the states. And if they decide to go ahead and embezzle it, if they decide to go ahead and burn it, if they decide to give it to illegals, so the fuck what? They have the right. The 10th Amendment says so. When you hand that money over, you let them do it. Stay out of literally being a bank for the states. That is not our job. States should be independent of the federal government, not rely on the federal government for anything. The only reason why the federal government should get involved in the states is if there is a declared emergency that ultimately will impact the lives and the security of the citizens of this United States. That's the only time the federal government should get involved. Otherwise, the reserve power says hands off. So
I agree with you 100%.
Okay, so now that we've established that, now we've established war, my point is this. The whole premise of this is that the one thing that T.S. Dixon, and many things he got right, but one of the things that he got right better than just about anyone I've ever seen in my life, is that he said that it's not the Jews, it's not the Qatarians, it's not the Russians, it's not the English, it's not the Americans, it's not the French, it's people everywhere. There is a very small group and contingency of elites that want to see the world move in a certain way, and they want it all, but we can't conceptualize because it's the closest thing to a deity that we could experience. The reason why God didn't come down and speak to each one of us individually is because he is an omnipotent being. And that would be like us trying to talk to some microbes or ants on a hill in Africa. Okay? It's just not going to happen. So you use the understanding and the capabilities of what we have, what we were born with, what gifts we have, what gifts we don't, to communicate through parable, through song, through teachings, through tablets, through prophets, the word of God, and how we can conceptualize it. That's why these stories that we have in the Bible are so far-fetched. And whether you believe them or not, these stories are parables, and they are designed to help human beings understand with comparative and analysis-based tales to help us understand and comprehend the meanings. When you talk about global elites, these are billionaires. These are people who literally could buy your entire city. Just walk into your city, buy everything, every grocery store, every road, every piece of fiber optic cable, every mineral, everything, just buy it. And they've got money that they can do anything with. They are playing a game of Monopoly where the rest of us are thinking, how do we pay for college? How do we pay for food? How do we pay for our house? How do we go ahead and leave our kids something? How do we make their lives better than ours? How do we make them better than us? They're thinking, how do I alter the ebb and flow of that entire country's economy so I can make a profit this year based upon my investments? That is the type of chess they're playing. And we are incapable of conceptualizing what that is. Just like people are, they're incapable of conceptualizing Israel like I do because I've been there and I worked there. You have a different understanding of the things you've learned, the things you have assimilated and taught yourself through books or someone taught you through education. I have experiential learning. You can't possibly conceptualize Israel like I can because you have never been there. We can't understand the New World Order, the World Economic Forum, the progressive socialists, the elites, the central banks, the people who pull the strings. And everyone is so busy saying, how could you possibly think one person can change and has a master plan for us all? It's not one person. It's literally countries working together, the most powerful, the most elite. These people went to the same schools. They're invested in the same businesses. They rub shoulders and go to the same parties. Why do you think the richest people in the world are on the top 100 and it's been the same for the last 100 years? We can't understand it, Frank. We can't even conceptualize what their level of thought process is. And if you can't understand something, if you can't conceptualize it, if you can't find the thread to pull to bring it down, then it becomes so very powerful because of your own creation and your ineptitude to conceptualize what it is. This is why the pharaohs were so successful. This is why people in the South had slaves, and some of them were 1,000 to 1. The African Americans should have just risen up and taken them over. They couldn't. They were so absolutely blindsided by their own ignorance of the power of these people that they felt there's nothing we can do. It's impossible, because they can't conceptualize the raw power that they have and what the global strategy is. This is what I'm trying to help people understand, is that it's not George Soros. It's George Soros and 1,000 just like him all over the country who are literally manipulating everything we read, everything we see, changing history, changing family values, changing the priorities of our government in order to play the game that they and only they can play. Does that make sense what I'm saying to you?
It makes absolute sense. So my question to you would be, how do we combat this? We are powerless against the people with all the power and all the money. How do we bring them down?
Stop making it a priority. Stop making it a priority. Stop trying to bring. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Because Frank, when Louis fell or King George fell, what replaced him?
We did.
Yeah. How we doing?
3% of the population.
Buddy, it doesn't matter who's in power. Power corrupts absolutely. There's never been an altruistic government. There's never been a feudal system. There's never been a monarchy. There's never been a democracy, a republic, a dictatorship, tyrannical rule, socialism, communism. It doesn't matter. All of it's corrupted. So if we know that we keep replacing these people and hoping that it's going to get better, and let me just tell you, Hillary Clinton's not going to jail. Obama's not going to jail. I agree. These people aren't going to be. What are we doing? We did this in 2016. We did this in 2012. We did it during the Iran-Contra hearings. We did it with the pallets full of cash. We did it with the check writing scandal. We did it when they had a slush fund of $12 million to bribe people that they had sex with out of wedlock so they would not be embarrassed when they got back to their constituents. What are we doing? We did this in Chappaquiddick. They took Kennedy from us. Ted Kennedy literally murdered a woman and rolled her over and covered it up. What happened to him? Nothing. Nothing's going to happen.
They have the power.
They have the power. So stop worrying about it. Focus on the things that you can control. There's always going to be corruptibility. There's always going to be corruption at the top. And we literally eat this like pigs at the trough, waiting for the ambulance chase and waiting for the car crash. And we slow down and we continue to watch it and continue to watch it, but not looking at what's ahead. Not looking that once we get past this, it's free and clear and we can move on. We need to liberate our minds and stop eating at the trough and find alternative sources of consumption. But we won't take our eye off of it. We won't change it. And this is what control is. And it's happened since the dawn of time. It happened with it doesn't matter what it is. It could be the pharaohs. It could be the Mongolian dynasty. It could have been the Ming dynasty. It could have been the Russian czars. It could have been Andropov. It doesn't matter. Every single government, it doesn't matter who it is, whether it's Castro, whether it's Gaddafi, whether it's Kim Jong-un, whether it's Putin, whether it's Andropov, whether it's Gorbachev, whether it's Khrushchev, whether it's Kurchenko, whoever it is, it doesn't matter. We are looking in the wrong place. Frank, why is Willie Nelson's beard brown and soggy?
He's old.
He's looking for love in all the wrong places. That's why.
Wrong song.
He's looking for love in all the wrong places, buddy. And we're looking for leadership and spiritual guidance and morality from the wrong places. That's what's wrong.
I agree 100%.
Great.
This is the direction that our country is going in right now. Is we're not looking to make anything better. We're following these fucking idiots that are leading us to the trough, as you said, and we just keep going along with it. When are people going to get smart and say, enough is enough? We're not going along with this anymore. But the problem is,
They will.
we are uneducated.
They will. The Constitution alone is flawed in one area. And I'm going to go a little south of the quote. I've got my little constitutions here, but I'm not going to look it up. But when the old government isn't working anymore, we have the power to replace it with ones that is. That's the flaw in the Constitution. Government is never the answer. That is the one flaw that the founding fathers made in the Constitution. And honestly, it was the one linchpin that literally broke it. Is the one illusion is that we have the power to change the way things are. They have rigged the system because there's no longer accountability. And when you have no accountability, the criminals, the conspirators, the convicts, the grifters, the embezzlers, the adulterers, the con men will literally run everything. And that is what we've done. We have legalized crime in the United States.
I totally agree with you. And all you have to do is look at Congress.
That's right.
How do these people go in making $174,000 a year and come out multimillionaires?
You mean $412 million from Nancy Pelosi?
Oh, I mean all of them. I'm not going to limit it to her. She's been the best. Don't get me wrong. She totally has nailed it. But, what was OAC, 3 years ago or whatever it was, when she got into Congress, she wasn't worth shit. And now she's worth 2 million, 4 or 6 million. How do you
$412 million is what she's worth. Sorry, I'm not looking it up. I actually know that number. She's worth 412, but I was banning somebody. And then I got to ban somebody else. Buddy, we're supposed to keep these to 1 minute, but these are the conversations I love more than anything. I'll never keep a conversation like this to 1 minute because it's too damn good.
I appreciate that, Matt. I did not intend this conversation to go this long. When I called in, I simply wanted to make a couple of points, get your thoughts on it, and move on from there and let you take other callers. But I appreciate you letting me rant and having this conversation that we've had, because I have absolutely loved it. And I respect you so much for your knowledge and the things that you've lived through and that you can pass on to other people. And hopefully they understand where you're coming from and that they appreciate, as I appreciate, the knowledge that you have.
Well, I thank you for it, brother. The thing I can say is that there is, T.S. Dixon talked about the Age of Enlightenment. He talked about the Enlightenment periods that through faith, a leader emerges that carries the people to the promised land. And honestly, I think those days are done. I think the only person, and God, I have to believe in his grace, because I don't have a hope of anything else, because it's not going to be a Homo sapien that's going to lead us to the promised land. It's going to be Jesus Christ and the return of Jesus Christ. And if that does not happen, we are lost. And nothing will fix it. Donald Trump is about as good as it gets. He is absolutely antithetical to the system, and they are, as soon as he gets out, they are literally going to change it all again. And Republican too. The next Republican is not going to. I bet you $1 billion if we have a Republican win, they're going to crush some of his executive orders. Tariffs will go by the wayside. They'll just make them disappear. And we're seeing it. $175 billion. We're seeing the tariffs work. And yes, it's a little bit more expensive for us, but these businesses will not have a choice. They will come back. And they're going to make them go away, just like FDR did, just like Truman did. There never was an income tax. We didn't have it. It was literally tariffs. That's what we survived on. And we were one of the richest countries in the world. Then World War II happened and we became the richest country in the world. All of it, man.
Fortunately, 1913 changed all that.
Well, it wasn't just 1913. The form of the unions and the trade unions was the birth of the globalists. And once that took place, the biggest thing is that when you listen to when God was taken out of European history and secularism was pushed forward, and T.S. talks about this, Darwinism and the theory of evolution, is people needed an answer. And people didn't have the answer anymore. Well, this has happened in America. It used to be God, family, and country. And none of those things are focus anymore.
What happened?
Well, I told you, secularism. Once you take God out of the religion, you take religion, not religion, you take God, salvation, out of a culture, they're going to need to replace that. And most people matriculated to science, and this is what the universities did. When they kicked them out of 1950s, 1960s, Hollywood, I've talked about this, Montgomery Clift, John Wayne, and it was John Wayne,
Ronald Reagan.
Yeah, Ronald Reagan, Montgomery Clift, and one other I can't remember. But they literally formed an anti-communist focus against the Screenwriters Guild when the Russian oligarchs came over, started making movies, started being writers, and they started introducing progressive writings into Hollywood. And when they literally exercised the Screenwriters Guild in Hollywood and expelled these people, they fell back on their liberal arts degrees, and they started teaching at universities and college and went back to their arts and fell back on those type of things. They dominated the colleges. And these learning institutions were monopolized by these people who focus on Saul Alinsky, Maoist principles, Che Guevara, Nietzsche, Darwin. And when people don't have a religion in order to mass confuse the masses and indoctrinate them to another type of religion, science was the answer. Science was a fundamental practice. It wasn't a spiritual one, but now it's spiritual. Everything's science, right? Oh, I don't want to be a man. I want to be a woman. Well, that's science. The science tells us that you can do that because it's not binary. Sex and gender aren't the same thing. What the fuck do you mean they're not the same thing? Of course they're the same thing. They've been the same thing since the dawn of man. Not anymore, because science tells us, oh, okay, we're all going to die. We're all going to be covered in water. Global warming is real. The ice caps are melting. We're going to be dead in 5 years. You have to believe the science. You have to believe that that's going to happen, even though it doesn't matter that the empirical data doesn't do that, because the scientists are the preachers. They're the prognosticators. They are the clairvoyant of yesteryear. They are the prophets of today. You must believe them. And if you don't, you're betraying intelligence. You're betraying knowledge. You're betraying the only truth, science. That's what happened.
I have a question.
Well, hold on. And I'm a science guy. I love science. I like it, but it's a fundamental learning. It's not a spiritual one. And it doesn't answer everything, just like religion doesn't answer everything. And what if, Lord, that science and religion were symbiotic? What if they're synonymous? What about if the answer truly is in both? And that is the only thing that's going to bring us together, is truly understand what science plays in the world to help us understand why we are here, and that the answer ultimately is not there, but within God. And what if we understand that God cannot necessarily save us from hurricanes and save us from typhoons, and we can pray, but ultimately free will is here on earth, and it is us that need to come together and learn the most valuable lesson, that sin needs to be removed from our lives. That salvation is only with Christ. And what if it isn't just Catholicism or Christianity or being a Mormon or Hindu? What if it's not necessarily the name of what your spiritual guidance is or what flavor of vodka you like? What if it's finding spirituality altogether? Because the great thing about most religions, pretty much 99% of them, is although they are not founded on love like Christianity, they are founded on a higher understanding. They're an evolution of the spirit and soul. So does it matter if it's Allah? Does it matter if it's Buddha? Does it really matter if it's Brigham Young? Does it matter if it's Jesus H. Christ? Is it really just the act of spirituality and believing in something other than yourself, and trying to give yourself that mustard seed of faith that can turn into something much greater is really, truly the answer? That's the only thing I can think of. Frank, I'm going to give you the last minute. Take it away.
I agree with pretty much everything you've said. And this is why I love you, Matt. Yeah, you have such a way of expressing how things are that it absolutely makes me think of things that I never thought about before. But I got to say, organized religion, they all have their own idiosyncrasies and how they want you to think. And I'm not an organized. I was raised Roman Catholic. Okay, went through all the grades, high school, blah blah blah, whatever. But I came to a point where I was like, I don't need a guy telling me that he has to be the in between. I think I can talk to God by myself.
Sure, you can.
And hopefully get something from that to make my life better. So, yeah, dude, I you know what? You and I do not disagree on a whole lot of things, and why I love you.
Well, listen,
and Olivia.
I listen to me, and this is not a guilt thing. I'm going to stay late tonight in order to make up for what we missed, but it's worth it to me. These conversations are like, if I could just run a talk show where I talk to people, that's what I would do. I would stop doing the news and stop doing the fun videos and all that crap. I would rather have a conversation with people, because this is where the rubber meets the road. And in this conversation, I have spoke 90% of the time, but that doesn't mean that that's the way it always is with you. It's just tonight you hit on a couple of topics that needed some light, I felt. So I appreciate what you said. I thank you, Frank. I'm going to go do the news and tell everybody what's going on, because I don't want to look. But even though we've got a shit ton of people on, 175 on Twitter, it's busy as hell. So thank you, brother. I appreciate you.
All right, man. Continued success. I hope you do well. And like I said, I love you. I love you and your family. I feel like I'm a part of it.
Well,
and I think a lot of the other people out here that listen to you feel the same way.
Well, that means a great deal, man. I appreciate you, Frankie. Thanks, buddy. We'll talk soon.
All right, bud.
All right, later. Good conversation. Good call. Listen, we didn't get to our first part of our show, but who cares? Like, you can watch 1,000 channels. You can go to X and you can get all the things I'm going to talk about. You can figure this is where it should be at. It should be about trying to make sense from the nonsensical. But once you stop allowing people to distract you, there's just 3 things we should focus on. And I wish I would be back on RSBN and they would ask me that question again. What's it going to take? And it would be simple. Get back to God, family, and country. Those are the 3 things. To create an undying loyalty to those 3 things: God, family, and country. That families become impervious from being separated by stupid political bullshit. That we stop rejecting God's grace, and that we have faith and have belief in our country. Because I don't think God has chosen the United States. I know a lot of people think so. God bless America. We wouldn't be saying it if we felt that he created a lot of other people. I think God loves all his children. And I don't think he's rooting just for the United States. I think he's rooting for humanity. And therein lies the answer. Folks, thedumbshow.com/donate. Listen, I know I'm good, but I'm not that good. I think people have forgotten to help out and donate. Please do. Olivia's watching the donations tonight. Let's get to it. This was with Hillary Clinton. And this came out earlier today. And this is troubling, of course. It's always troubling. When this woman's name is mentioned, it's always troubling. But I've got some videos to show you, dug up some stuff that you probably will want to see. But this is from Leonardo Bernardo. Or Leonard Bernardo. But I like to put the O at the end of his name so it rhymes. July 27th, 2016. Just months before the election. I want to thank Bobby Richardson for $51.99. Love you. I knew that was coming. Thank you, Bobby. We appreciate you getting us started. It says, hi. Hillary Rodham Clinton approved Julia's idea about Trump and Russia hackers hampering the U.S. elections. That should distract people from her own missing email, especially the affair goes to the Olympic level. The point, and what she means by the Olympic level is like a black swan event. This is a marketing term, Olympic level or black swan event. It's essentially when something so large happens, it distracts and takes up and sucks up the news cycle for an extended period of time. Bobby Richardson, did that mean to go in twice? It went in twice. So a black swan event, like I said, is something that is just unexpected that takes place in order to go ahead and circumvent an offset. So, for instance, you got on news and your number one book didn't sell the previous year, but then it did the next year, and you made millions of dollars. That's a black swan event. An Olympic level event ultimately is like if the Olympics are on, it's going to suck the news cycle in for a month. That's what it's referring to. The point is making the Russia play a U.S. domestic issue. Say something like critical infrastructure threat for the election to feel like a menace, since both POTUS and VPOTUS have acknowledged the fact the IC, the intelligence community, would speed up searching for evidence that is regrettably still unavailable. However, there seems to be signs GRU penetration, Sarek 2.0, VPN Elite Felix, and Donovich, they appear hardly skilled, incompetent, bumbling idiots, as SMB, somebody, called them. In absence of direct evidence, CrowdStrike threat concept will supply the media, and GRU will hopefully carry on and give more facts. This right here is the smoking gun that the Russian collusion hoax was real. Deirdre, thank you, Deirdre. Another month of great content. Looking forward to what August brings. I love you, Deirdre. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. It's very nice of you. So kind. You and Bobby have just been a blessing. Both of you. Everyone. You guys are amazing, and we love you. So here is one document. Folks, the point you need to make, the point is making the Russia play a U.S. domestic issue. Say something like critical infrastructure threat for the election. These are the words they used. This is the playbook. It's right here. These are the words that they use. This is what they were saying. Critical infrastructure. That it's a threat to our general election, to our democracy, to our democratic process. There is a threat to our systems. There's a threat to the information. They said it was a critical infrastructure gap. Wait, what? Thank you. So this is like, okay, if jail does not take place for Hillary Clinton, because there's nobody left, because Huma Aberdeen and Podesta and all of these people, they got complete immunity deals. They got complete immunity deals. Hillary Clinton should be going to prison for the rest of her life. This is treason. This is a hoax perpetrated on the American people of the utmost. It was a planned coup d'etat. And this should put her in prison for the rest of her life. Just listen to the verbiage. Listen to what I just read and then listen to this. This is 4 minutes. 4 minutes of lies, 4 minutes of deceit, 4 minutes of that email personified. Listen to this.
I think that there is a lot to investigate, and I'm personally very grateful that somebody of the stature of Robert Mueller would be there conducting this investigation. He's a totally straight arrow guy. I mean, if it's there, it's there. If it's not, it's not. And I really believe that he will be honest and transparent and tell us whatever it is he finds. But as I say in the book, and I try to explain what bothers me, there's just too many connections to be called just coincidences. There just are. And, you know, some of it is financial entanglements, and some of it is hunting for, you know, negative information about me, and some of it is calling, you know, people and trying to hide the connections and the meetings and the calls and all of that. All of that has gone on. Now, there's a lot of smoke, and whether or not there's fire, we need to figure it out. But here is what's important. Put the investigation into Trump, his associates, and everybody else to one side. There is no denying that the Russians interfered in the election.
Right.
Whether or not they had willing or unwitting help from the Trump team, they interfered, and they did so to help him and hurt me, and they did so to destabilize our democracy, and they have not stopped.
What's not clear from your book is whether you think that the Trump campaign was colluding in this.
We don't know the answer to that. That is part of what is being explored. There are some serious questions, because what happened when the emails of my campaign manager, John Podesta, were stolen by the Russian intelligence services. Then they were conveyed to WikiLeaks, which is basically now a mouthpiece for Russia authoritarianism. And then they were released on the very same day that the Hollywood Access tape came out showing Trump, bragging about sexual assault. Then they were what we call weaponized, so that they were turned into phony news stories, they were turned into Facebook posts, and then they were targeted at specific voters. The question is, where did the Russians get that kind of targeting information? And, that is one of the unanswered questions that investigators in Congress and the special counsel are looking into.
The Russian government has engaged in espionage against Americans. They have hacked American websites, American accounts of private people, of institutions. Then they have given that information to WikiLeaks for the purpose of putting it on the internet. This has come from the highest levels of the Russian government, clearly from Putin himself, in an effort, as 17 of our intelligence agencies have confirmed, to influence our election. So I actually think the most important question of this evening, Chris, is finally, will Donald Trump admit and condemn that the Russians are doing this, and make it clear that he will not have the help of Putin in this election, that he rejects Russian espionage against Americans, which he actually encouraged in the past. Those are the questions we need answered. We've never had anything like this happen in any of our elections before.
I mean, if you're going to let Russia get away with what they did and are still doing, according to Christopher Wray, the current FBI director, who said that last week, they're in our election systems. We're worried about 2020, he said. So, hey, let's have a great power contest, and let's get the Chinese in on the side of somebody else. Why are, other Americans basically believing Putin? Why did Trump believe Putin more than our 11 intelligence agencies?
I don't know. Do you have a working theory?
I do have a working theory. And why is Donald Trump so enamored of Putin? Well, part of it is he's a wannabe dictator. He has told us that repeatedly. He even said the other day, let's basically get out of NATO and, encourage Putin to do what he wants to do. How absurd a statement that is cannot even be, measured.
All right, that's enough of that shit. So there you go. So that's the laydown for this, okay? So there's your receipts. And I've got more. We're not done. I'm not even remotely close to done. But that's just giving you a little taste. And it gets worse. Sorry, folks. Sometimes this window gets caught. So here is Debbie Wasserman Schultz.
The document,
as we know, former DNC chair. Hillary Clinton, I don't know what she is to Hillary Clinton. Maybe, I don't know, but whatever. But this is a report that Fox just did. And this brings us back to this fucking window.
The document reportedly came to the attention of U.S. intelligence officials from Dutch intelligence. It included discussion of an email exchange.
So this is from Fox News, okay? And this is Debbie Wasserman Schultz. So this is the Leonard Bernardo character. He was the Soros guy working with the DNC and Obama admin to kind of get the Russian hoax going and to ensure Hillary Clinton was not prosecuted for her email scandal. So in 2020, emails between Bernardo and Wasserman Schultz from 2016 were unearthed. But when Bernardo and Wasserman Schultz said about the email was that they weren't true, that they were faked by the Russians. Well, now we know that these emails were actually true. So they lied. Go figure. Not only that, you guys understand, have you guys all read the Podesta emails? It's required reading for this show. From 2020 on the show till like 2022, I was on Clinton's ass like white on rice. And if you have not read the Podesta emails, you need to, because there are tens of thousands of them. But in there also are the birther topic was born. And it was from Hillary Clinton and Podesta. They were actually going to challenge when running against Barack Obama in his first term when Hillary Clinton was running 2006 and wanted to circumvent his overall status in the United States by claiming that he was Kenyan born and not a real American citizen. They later scrubbed it and did not use it, but they sold it and gave it to the Republicans. They leaked it to them. This made its circles around Washington. Donald Trump got a hold of it, and then he bought into it hook, line, and sinker. But this was manufactured and created by Hillary Clinton and John Podesta. Do you guys understand this? So every time everyone goes, oh, Obama is a Kenyan-born, he's not an American. You know you're buying into something that Hillary Clinton and John Podesta created. A disinformation campaign that came back from 2006, and it's in the Podesta emails. So I always wonder why people continue to do this, why they continue to say that that the long form birth certificate, God, I can't talk, that the long form birth certificate isn't real, that Obama is a Kenyan. I'm not here to peddle for Obama. Maybe it's true, but it generated from Hillary Clinton and her campaign. So if you're thinking, well, wait a second, Matt, that's not, go read the Podesta emails. It's all there. I've covered this before. Now, some people are also asking questions and saying, hey, what happened to Wasserman Schultz? What happened to the computer systems? Can't we retrieve the 33,000 emails? No, because they used a software called BleachBit. And it sounds as bad as it is, bleach on bits. It literally wipes it clean. And remember, she had a cease and desist for those emails, and she went ahead and broke the cease and desist and deleted them. This was said by Comey. If you have not listened to the 12-minute Comey stand where he literally prosecutes Hillary Clinton and then simply says, oh, well, she didn't mean to do this, so therefore she's off scot-free. You guys, the whole Kenya Obama thing that you guys make up, that's all Hillary Clinton. And probably that Michelle Obama has a dick is probably created from some RNC. You guys, this is stuff to distract you. This is stuff to change the narrative. The Olympic level event, the Black Swan event I'm trying to tell you about. In intelligence, we do this all the time. We try to find something to spread disinformation, to destabilize a government or destabilize somebody in power, or to soften overall strength of a leader based upon some information which isn't true. You guys have to be very careful of consuming this shit. You've got to hold it at arm's length and then slowly introduce it into your diet before, you get sick from it. But go read the Podesta emails. It'll help. Here's Wasserman Schultz. By the way, thank you for all the people who are on. We have a shit ton of people on tonight. I love it. Here's Wasserman Schultz. Here is this interview. Listen to this.
Between former DNC chairwoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz and Leonard Bernardo, an official with Open Society Foundations run by George Soros. According to the Times, Wasserman Schultz allegedly told Bernardo that then Attorney General Loretta Lynch would not charge Clinton with a crime for having the private email server. Wasserman Schultz and Bernardo have both denied even being in contact with each other, suggesting the document was a fake attempt by the Russians to throw a wrench into the U.S. intelligence community. A spokeswoman for Bernardo sent me a statement today. I want to read part of it. Quote, Bernardo has never spoken with or corresponded with Congresswoman Wasserman Schultz in any fashion. The email mentioned is fictitious disinformation. The document reportedly came to the attention of U.S. intelligence officials from Dutch intelligence.
It's going to get ugly, folks. Now, not all of this may not happen, but it's getting ugly.
About what the Obama Justice Department ordered federal lawyers to do.
The Obama Justice Department specifically stated not to arrest Hillary Clinton. Listen to what I just said. The Obama administration specifically, USC 18, whatever it is, I don't remember, specifically stated not to arrest Hillary Clinton in the 2016 election. You had a person who have committed a crime, who has openly committed multiple crimes and treason against the United States and stealing government secrets and using them in a way that is completely unbecoming for anyone who has a clearance. So what you've got is a situation here where Obama steps in with a knowing crime. This makes him complicit and an accessory after the fact, knowing full well that Hillary Clinton should have been arrested for what she did and was ordered by the President of the United States not to do it. And let me explain to you why this is such a big deal. Because if Barack Obama truly didn't do this, A, she would have been arrested, and B, if he was unashamed, unapologetically, he would have pardoned her. Listen to what I just said. If he wasn't trying to hide this, and this never happened, she would be in jail, still to this day. So we know it did happen. And if he was not ashamed of it, and if he did not want it to get out in the public, and he did not want to cover it up, he would have done a full pardon on her before he left office, simply to exonerate her so she could continue running against Donald Trump. What he did was specifically get involved, and he obstructed justice. Now, he's not going to be held accountable for this. But you know who can be? Hillary Clinton. Comey, Brennan, Tapper. This is what you can do. You can go after Podesta. You can go after people specifically. Now, they may have qualified immunity for certain things, but they don't have qualified immunity for all of these things. Make a case. Listen to what I said one more time. If Obama didn't get involved, Hillary Clinton would have been arrested. James Comey even said it. He laid out a 12.5-minute case and then said, well, she didn't mean to. It wasn't her intent. That's not required for guilt. So the DOJ, this is where you saw the tarmac incident with Clinton. You guarantee Clinton came in, his good pal, maybe his good pal Epstein had some dirt on Loretta Lynch. Maybe Bill Clinton came in and said, my good friend Epstein has some dirt on Obama and a young boy. We don't know. Is that speculation? Of course it is. But what's the connection? What would Bill Clinton say to Loretta Lynch as he accidentally falls on top of her on a tarmac? The former president of the United States is walking on an open tarmac and falls into a plane and talks about vacations and grandchildren. You've got to be fucking kidding me. Are you seriously buying this? Come on. Even the most liberal Libby lefty isn't going to sit here and tell me, oh, Bill Clinton just showed up on a tarmac and who's in that plane? Loretta Lynch? Oh, let's clear that plane out, empty it of all people and all casual observers. I'm going to go talk to her. Secret Service. POTUS wants to, Infidel wants to go ahead and talk to Loretta Lynch. Do you know what it takes for the president of the United States just to randomly go into an unsecured location with Secret Service? Give me a break. This was planned. And what if it started out something like this? You better take care of Hillary. Presidents take care of presidents. You can't forget me. I'm Bill. I'm important. You got to tell Obama. You got to let him know. I need some help. Hillary, listen, she's a snaky bitch, but you can't arrest her. You can't do it. I'm a former president. And let me tell you this. You better tell Barry that if he does, I've got a little video that he's not going to like. Now, I'm not threatening. I'm just saying if that falls into the media's hands, it would completely destroy the Obamas. And they're making good money right now, aren't they? So you might want to listen to me. Maybe that's the way it started. Who knows? But it deserves an investigation. Something needs to be looked into, because I promise you this, Bill Clinton made it very clear that Loretta Lynch needed to recuse herself from this and apply pressure to Comey. But here's the thing you don't understand. Why did Comey come out with days to go in the election when it was clear that Hillary Clinton was going to win? Why did he come out and reopen the investigation on Hillary Clinton, which literally she was up 20 points? She was by all intents and purposes going to steamroll Trump. Why? Why did Comey come out on national TV and lay out the case, then not prosecute right before the election? And that literally changed everything. Remember, the grabbing by the pussy tape was just killing her. But once they did that, then the drip, drip, drip from the emails hit and all of that other stuff beforehand was washed away by the grabbing by the pussy tape. What motivated him? Was it self-perseverance and preservation? Self-preservation, not perseverance, preservation? Did Comey come out there to say, listen, I said, listen, I did everything. I recommended. Loretta Lynch is the one who decided not to prosecute. I gave her all the cards. But that needs to be answered as well. Here in this video, listen to this. I can't believe nobody appreciates my Bill Clinton impersonation. My God.
About what the Obama Justice Department ordered federal lawyers to do and not to do concerning the Hillary Clinton email investigation. Chief Intelligence Correspondent Catherine Herridge tells us in sworn testimony on Capitol Hill, one of the
Bobby Richardson donated $51.99, part 2 from my son. Thank you, Bobby. Thank you for such a wonderful donation. We appreciate it.
Insiders told lawmakers what she was told.
During closed-door testimony last summer, former FBI lawyer Lisa Page said the Obama administration's Justice Department advised the FBI not to pursue the gross negligence statute for Hillary Clinton in the mishandling of classified information. Former U.S. Attorney and House Republican John Radcliffe led the line of questioning about the statute, known as 18 U.S.C. 793.
793,
Radcliffe,
damn it.
You're making it sound like it was the department that told you you're not going to charge gross negligence because we're the prosecutors. Page interrupted. That is correct. Page's testimony appears to conflict with then FBI Director James Comey's recommendation in July 2016 against criminal charges for Clinton.
What I can assure the American people is that this investigation was done honestly, competently, and independently. No outside influence of any kind was brought to bear.
The Republican-led House Oversight and Judiciary Committee investigation ended in January. With Democrats now in control, the committee's new ranking Republican made the Page transcript public.
The transcript releases show an inherent two-tier system, one in which Hillary Clinton gets the treatment that she got, where there was actually at first concern that they were going to charge her, and then with Loretta Lynch in charge, before she recused herself, made it very clear that that was not going to happen.
The tip-off came from a chart drawn up by federal investigators assigned to the Clinton case known as mid-year exam. Fox News has confirmed that the chart listed possible federal statutes for prosecution. Next to gross negligence was a notation, quote, DOJ not willing to charge this. Only known cases are military. Cases when accused lost the information. In response to the Page revelations, the president tweeted the transcripts, quote, make the Obama Justice Department look exactly like it was, a broken and corrupt machine. The Page transcript also confirms Fox's earlier reporting. The Page testified Russia collusion was still unproven when Special Counsel Robert Mueller was appointed. Brett?
Captain, thank you.
So, Christine, you said my guess to your question. It's not a guess. I know why he did it. I'm trying to get you to figure out why he did it. You guys, maybe haven't been watching my show long enough, but all you got to do is go back and look at my Hillary Clinton shows. They're on YouTube, they're on Rumble, and I litigated all of this. I exposed all this shit. Nobody cared. Nobody read the Podesta emails. It's all there. This is nothing new. Everything they're saying is all in the Podesta emails as well. The collaboration was there, all of it. I know why Comey did it. It's called probable deniability. Hey, I reopened the investigation. I did my due diligence. I can't arrest her. That's not my recommendation. All I can do is investigate and make a recommendation to the Department of Justice. That's all I can do. I did my job. But to say that Russia didn't interfere in our elections, that is complete nonsense. Of course they interfered in our elections. They interfere in our elections always, and every country does, and we interfere in theirs. That is a ridiculous statement. We absolutely interfere in Russia's elections. They interfere with ours, but Russia doesn't have elections. We interfere too, and so do they. But it doesn't mean votes were changed. But disinformation is something that Russia's been doing a long time ago. But they did not hack our machines. They did not change. Those were all lies. But that's what they said, is that Russia stole the election for Donald Trump. That's what they said. And they lied. But they did interfere in our elections. And if you haven't read the Mueller report, you really need to read it, because that's not true. They did. And I can absolutely attest to that they did, because this isn't the first time they've done it. So what I'm trying to explain to you is that we're not talking about Russia interfering. Of course Russia interfered with our election. The point is, and the point of contention is, did they change a single vote? The answer is there's nothing provable that says so. And second is, why were people in Washington and all the pundits and the media saying that Russia stole the election for Donald Trump, that he was a Putin puppet, that he was in his pocket, that there was critical infrastructure that was damaged inside the United States, and they had access to our electoral systems? That was a blatant lie. It's not all lies. No, it's not all lies. That's bullshit. Christine, you're absolutely wrong. I'm just done. I'm done reading comments. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to get into it. I'm not going to do it. You're wrong. I'm not doing this. This is what hijacks the show. I promise I know more about this than you do. And if you don't, call in. There's the phone number. Call in. Love you. You're an amazing human being. 276-200-2105. And I will absolutely dismantle your entire argument right now if you call in. But I'm not doing it live. I read all the Podesta emails. How about him writing about the pool party when the Supreme Court justice died? Right, it's all there. The Mueller report, although the ultimate convictions that took place had nothing to do with, they had a blank check to go arrest whoever they wanted. A blank check. But there are actual hackers who attempted to interfere with the election. We know there were several groups that were used on Facebook and X and other platforms that were Russian paid propagandists. We know this. An attempt to interfere is not interfering. Okay? They're not the same thing. It's not all lies. The Mueller investigation was not all lies. There were plenty of misnomers. But remember this, if it was all lies, they wouldn't have said the following, that there is no evidence of any votes changed or opinions changed based upon the attempts by the Russian government interfering with the election. That exonerates Trump. That exonerates the whole thing. They wouldn't have said it if it was all lies, because that part was true. So you can't say it's all lies. I'm going to do a Joe Biden. You can't say it's all lies. Okay. I got to lean in. You can't say it's all lies. And I love you, Christine, and you know I love you. But this one, you're wrong. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. They used the Mueller investigation because they realized they wasted $42 million and they didn't find Butkus. So that's when they started going after Flynn. That's when they started going after all the people, Roger Stone, etc., and went after them for things that had nothing to do with Trump. Okay? Nothing. So let's hold on a sec and not get ahead of ourselves. Okay? Mueller weaponized the Mueller report to go after, because I guarantee the pressure that this, don't you remember Mueller coming out all the time with the update on the report? We're working diligently. We'll have something. And when we do, we'll bring it to you. He was actually fairly benign. He wasn't super apolitical. You're not wrong most of the time, Vicky, and either is Christine, just on this one. I'm not defending Mueller. I think what Mueller did was ultimately buckle to the DOJ and buckle to the pressure of his position to find something to justify. I can't do the creepy Joe, sorry. So that's what I'm trying to say to y'all. Is Mueller, out of all the people who are corrupt in Washington, Mueller, his report was fairly, he was not going to go along with this lie. And he didn't. He didn't. Otherwise, he would not have made that declaration that no votes were changed. And that's an important distinction to make. I'm going to call the man out for being political because that's where he ultimately went. For a man who wasn't political for most of his life, he got there and became political. And that he has to carry that cross. What is wrong? What happened to Angel? What? I wish Olivia was here. She could tell me what's going on. Okay. Angel, what is going on? I'm going to wait. Hey, Liv. All right. I would ask everyone just to hang tight and just, this is the type of stuff we're no longer going to do. I just can't afford to. I'm sorry, y'all. I can't continue to allow things like that to hijack the show. And there are a couple of people who do. And I wish everybody the best, but this is a show. And we're doing everything we can. And if you need help, there's a way to ask for it. And it's not to do this. So I'm just going to ask that Olivia's going to reach out right now and find out what we can do. But this is why we've had to disassociate with the show a little bit, because this type of stuff we can't move forward with the show when someone's threatening to do something like, I mean, what do you want me to say to that? How do you expect me to continue to go on and do a show when someone is threatening to, what it sounds like, to take their own life? It's and I'm not guilting anybody, but just reach out to us, pick up the phone. If you need help, call, we're here. But because people aren't answering your questions or they're not participating in chat, it doesn't mean nobody's ignoring you. They're just listening to the show. They're not here to do all this. All right, y'all? All right. Here is the last thing is Comey. He admitted he did not tell Trump. I mean, I've got all of it for you. I mean, we're giving you all the facts tonight. This is everything you need to get refreshed on this and use this information. The right people are working to help Angel right now. Okay. So let's everyone just focus on the show. Let Olivia do her job. She's taking care of it. And you say a prayer, and we care. We obviously care, but we still have to continue to do the show. Okay. So we're going to move on. Comey is specifically saying it wasn't in his interest to give Donald Trump all the information. Listen to this.
Fine. Did you tell him that the Steele dossier had been financed by his political opponents?
No, I didn't even think I used the term Steele dossier. I just talked about additional material.
But did he have a right to know that?
That had been financed by his political opponents? I don't know the answer to that. It wasn't necessary for my goal, which was to alert him that we had this information.
You go in to notify the President of the United States that there are rumors of him being urinated on by a prostitute, being degraded by a female prostitute, trading influence for sexual explicit acts in Russia. All of these things. The entire Steele dossier, a discredited and disgraced intelligence agent from the United States, a complete putz, hired by an intelligence agency in England that manufactured and collected false information to get an illegal FISA warrant that they all knew this information was manufactured. Comey knew, Tapper knew, Brennan knew, Obama knew, everybody knew. Clinton knew, Podesta knew, everybody knew it was fake because they paid for it. It's in the Podesta emails. Read the emails. And when you read the Podesta emails, you will find that all of this information, 100%, isn't from Russia. It's true. Because listen to the Department of Defense or the Department of Justice now. Listen to the CIA. Listen to the FBI. This is, you guys, this is just going to scratch the surface. Why do you think Bongino wanted to quit? Do you really understand why Bongino wanted to quit? Who doesn't know why Bongino? I'll tell you right now. I will sit here and tell you that I know without any equivocation why Bongino wanted to quit. Everyone says, we should just wait for Bongino. And I said it too, wait for 40 hours. But I knew it the moment I heard it. And I know why he took a day. Does anyone else know why? I'm going to wait for you to think about that. Why would Bongino take a step back and go, I need to reflect? I'll tell you why. And I don't know Dan Bongino. I haven't spoken with him. It was multiple days, totaling 5. And Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Still waiting for someone to find out. So somebody says, anytime you talk about Obama and Hillary, I sure hope you have great security for yourself, wife, and your kids. Listen, man, if that's what it's going to happen, they're going to lose some people because I don't expose myself. I'm not stupid. No, Bongino did not quit. There you go. Patriots thinking, nope, Janet, that's not it. Ginger, you're closer. Okay. I'm going to say something. You know what? And God, I hope Bongino sees this. I hope when he gets out of government service, somebody shows this to him because nobody has said this. I'm going to be the person to say it. And I'm going to explain to you the best that I can based upon who I am. And you can tell me. No, Carrie, that's close, but not. Okay, I'm just going to tell you what it is. How many times have you guys said, you remind me of Dan? But I get compared to 2 people. Like on that RSBN interview, Hayden read the chat, and she said more people were saying, oh my God, he reminds me of Graham Allen. I get that all the time. He looks like Graham Allen. I love his voice. He's hot. My daughter stopped watching the RSBN interview because she said she wanted to throw up. Makes me feel nice that people think that about me. Thank you so much. Some people probably think I look like shit, but I guess there's some people who think I don't. So thank you so much. That means a lot. But I'm more than just somebody pretty to look at. So The second person that I get more than anything is Dan Bongino. And Dan Bongino and I don't talk alike at all, unless I'm doing this, ad lib, my live shows, just without Olivia, without Amy, without Lear, just me and you, probably more like Bongino than not. Okay? But there's something else we have in common. We have an immense amount of honor. I talked about it last night. And integrity. Because my biggest fear is ever is to let people down. I don't want to let people down. I don't want to hurt people. But more importantly, I don't want to compromise my values and my integrity, and I never would. Never. That's why if I ever ran for office, I would just come out and I would lay it all on the line. That usually comes with service, but it also is more than that. It comes from my uncle. It comes from my dad. You don't lie. You don't deceive. You don't cajole. You don't manipulate. You don't alter people and their own value for your gain. You just don't do it. And when you see something that is terrible and you see something that is wrong, you must speak out. You must say something, no matter what it is. No matter what pressure it puts on you or what danger it puts in you, you have to speak the truth. That is what I grew up with. Chuck, you're funny. So Dan Bongino and I have that in common. And most people who serve do. Most veterans are very honorable people. They're very loyal to the country. They believe in God, family, country. Okay? Marines are God, core, family, country. But there's a loyalty, and Dan Bongino has given his life to the government, to the U.S. government, as a Secret Service agent, as a police officer, as a person who ran for Senate, as a person who was it Senate or state legislature? No, it's Senate. A person who works for the FBI as an assistant director. He has given a life full of service to the U.S. government, and he loves them. He loves our country. He loves the government. He loves the police. This is what he did. And then he gave up so much to be an influencer, to be a massive influencer, and to bring the truth that he instills upon himself to his audience. But Dan had to learn a valuable lesson. That when you are in intelligence, which FBI is, sometimes you have to lie. And you have to pretend and say something that isn't true for various reasons. One is because you can't. You are literally read in so deep that if you do, you'll spend the rest of your life under a rock. Or you'll put people's lives at jeopardy, or you'll put an investigation at jeopardy, or you gave your word and you're now serving two masters. The word that you gave to the U.S. government that you do love and care for, but also to the Constitution of the United States. But there's a third variable here, the people that he speaks to for years. He is literally being pulled in three different directions. And I truly believe Dan Bongino took time to go have a very long conversation with his wife, who he absolutely loves and adores, to look at his most closest and trusted friends and decide whether this is something he could continue doing, because he saw things that literally shook him to the core and changed his faith in the two of the three things that he loves. That's what happened to Dan. That's what happened to him. And it had nothing to do with a possible conviction or a lack of conviction or seeing really bad things and having his stomach overturned. He literally had a crisis of faith and had to make the decision, do I want to do this? Because there had to be also another thing, a little fear. Because if they can do this to Trump and they can do this and literally destroy people's lives, what are they going to do to Dan Bongino? I think all of those things are what did it. So if Dan hears this, do me at least the honor of going, wow, that guy got it right. And at least making a phone call and saying, holy shit, dude, you're the only one who got it right. Because I believe that that's right. I believe that's what happened. And in the end, service, dedication, and honor played out. That's what I think. Because I will tell you that crisis of faith that he had, I had the exact same one. And I got to see things and experience some things that I did not like. And I had the same crisis of faith and had to ask myself the question, do I continue to do this work that literally is having me be a servant to multiple masters when I swore I would uphold the one truest thing to me, which is my honor, my integrity, my honesty? Is it worth it? I think he had that dilemma. That's my gut. Hopefully someday he sees this and we'll find out. Folks, I'll be right back. Yes, we hit goal, but always still trying to hit goal. No, we're not broke. No, I don't have cancer. My family's fine. We do this to fund the show. You fund the show. It's not a corporate sponsor. It's not some media conglomerate. It's not the RNC or the DNC. We're funded by the viewer. And that means that I will always be loyal to you. I don't know many other shows that are funded 100% by the people who watch, but you fund this show. So if you have the opportunity and you're not hurting, you're not in a bad position, please watch this commercial, which is also a good chance for a pee break. We have 356 people on right now. These shows tend to blow up, and I might just start deciding to dedicate one night a week, just you and me, because these shows go crazy. And I love Olivia and I love Amy and I love Leroy, but there is something about me connecting with you that gets a lot of people watching. And maybe we need to do it some more. You tell me what your thoughts are. I'll see you in the comments in a second. I'm going to go through some of them right now.
Hi, I'm Olivia Spear, host of The Dumb Show. For 3.5 years, we never asked for donations. But after Facebook demonetized us for speaking the truth, we've had to turn to the one thing big tech can't cancel: you.
I'm Hayden, Matt and Olivia's daughter. This show's never chased sponsors or sold out. We've built something honest, and it's thanks to you.
I'm Ethan, their son. Every share, every dollar, every message, you're the reason we can keep calling out the BS and bringing color back to the world going gray.
If you want to help, we take PayPal, Venmo, or snail mail. You can send it to P.O. Box 2, Round Hill, Virginia 20142.
Can't donate? No problem. Just share the show with someone who needs to hear it.
Thanks for helping us stay loud, proud, and completely uncensored. You can donate at thedumbshow.com/donate.
You know what happens when you turn the dial harder? You can make a harder grimace. The harder you grimace, the more effective it is.
You tighten it so freaking... I can't do it. I can't untighten it.
That's what she said.
That's what she's... Oof. Oof. Coming in with it. Pound it. Pound it. Pound.
Child gets 15.
Ethan, you look like a hippie.
Totally tubular.
You know this is recording, right?
Okay, let's go. Smile. Donate. Don't start with me. Donations. Every time you don't smile, I'm going to punch you in the ribs. Donations. Take one. Scene one. Ready. Set. Ethan.
Break.
Ready. Don't screw it up.
Okay.
Ethan, don't mess this up. Ready. Set. Action. No. Whoa. Director calls action, not some stupid toddler.
But we've built something
There's
honest.
no but there. Why do you've been doing this since you were 2 years old? Try it again.
Just share the show with someone who needs to hear it.
He's so much better than you at everything.
He's better at
Hayden, he's just like, even, it's just, go ahead, Hayden.
Thanks for helping us stay loud, proud, and completely uncensored.
That's a wrap. Well done, Spear family. I bet we make no money.
But I'm going to owe them money without.
Hayden, do your thing again.
Oh yeah, cut it.
Baby shark, doo 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 doo.
Well, thank you, folks, for your donations and helping the show continue to thrive. We have a goal every night, but we always like to overdrive that goal, especially when we go into overtime, first 2 hours. That's our goal that we do. We tend to go over every night, usually a half hour, 45 minutes, but the shows have been about 3 hours now, and it gets to be quite a bit. So if you have the chance to help us overdrive, and people have been, we've been, doing about $400 a night, which helps with the overdrive. So as long as we're continuing to provide a good service and you guys are enjoying it, please give a donation if you can. It means a great deal. The thing is that the donation was pretty much hit tonight by 2 people. So we always appreciate smaller donations too, because not everyone can give a large donation all the time. So if you have the ability to fill in some gaps, please do. We would thank you for it. I want to address something. It's really important to me. Is suicide is one of my most avid focuses from charity perspective. I've helped a lot of veterans. I've worked with a lot of veterans. 22 a day is very serious. You see the Veteran Crisis Hotline on our opening and closing every single night. We talk about it whenever we get a chance. We even talked about it on RSBN. I would appreciate it if, he ran for Senate and House. Thank you, Christine. I knew it was one, if not both, but I thought I remembered the Senate in particular. Thank you. Listen, I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a priest. I'm not a bartender anymore. And a cry for help is extremely serious to me. And when somebody makes it, I want to be able to help. And there are times that I can, and there's times that I can't, and it's really hard on a show. I'm totally willing to stop a show and help a friend, but we do have a show to do. And it hurts when I stop the show to engage sometimes, and I shouldn't, and I'm not supposed to read chat. It's very hard for me. I made that commitment, but it's really hard not to, because I care about what you have to say. But please, if you are feeling suicidal and you are feeling those thoughts, the Veteran Crisis Hotline will help you. And it's not just for non-veterans or for veterans. It's for non-veterans too. And they'll get you to the right place. But that's a lot of burden to put on me in the middle of a show. And I would ask that we just try to show a little restraint. If you're having a bad day and you're not feeling well, there are options to reach out to besides me in the show. I'm in a better position to help you between the hours that are not 7 to 9. So I can really give you the attention and time you deserve. And I know that's not convenient all the time. And I know those feelings don't necessarily take place on my clock. So I understand that, but that's why I'm not the best choice to help between the hours of 7 and 9, because I'm also spreading myself across hundreds of other people and trying to fulfill that obligation that I've made to them. And I know you can understand that. So if you need something, ask. But as you need a certain something, I need something. Between the hours of 7 and 9, I've got to be dedicated to the show. And I would appreciate it if we could try to find a way to make that the focus, unless it's an absolute emergency. And like I have before, I'll stop the show to talk to a friend. So Angel, you have my number. You know how to get a hold of me. You have my email. You have my phone number. Dial it if you need it. And if it's an emergency, I'll get off the show. But if it's not, I would ask that we hold on. Ralph Pettit says, Dan Bongino is a people person in his service to the people, but most importantly to his country, America. It shows in Dan's ways of service. We say thank you, Dan Bongino. Yeah, he's a great guy. I don't know what woman said anything. I don't know. I don't know, guys. I'm not in chat. Okay. Let's leave Gene alone. Okay? Gene's maybe new to the show. Okay. You guys, I'm about ready to pull the plug. John Stillwell donated $10. The best damn show Monday through Friday. Thank you, brother. I'm ready to pull the plug. You can't do this. I need everyone to stop. Jean isn't doing anything wrong. Jean just said, why would people come here? She doesn't know. She's new to the show. That's like going in the Dan Bongino show. Dan doesn't stop the show and talk to her. She doesn't know what we do. So educate her. Help her understand what we do. Do what Mel did. And Mel's like, hey, charity helped educate. Don't get mad at her. She didn't do anything wrong. She just doesn't know. Jen, you didn't know about the show a few months ago. Now you do. And now you're used to it. So we have to bring her into the fold. We don't castigate her out because she's not understanding of the way we do business, right? So help her understand. This is perfect. Gene, you ask who would come here for help. I'll tell you, someone who has found dear friends here who cares, someone who doesn't want to feel alone right now, who would come here to help with compassion. And you've apparently never experienced that feeling. Okay, the last part was a little harsh. Listen to Mel. Matt has talked a listener off the cliff live on the show. Suicide's a sensitive issue, especially with this audience. It isn't just one, folks. Many. I can't tell you how many vets have called. So let's have a little grace for. I know you're good, Gene, but I'm going to do it anyway. Okay. So just sit there. Just let me do it. Let's have a little grace for each other. Okay. No, a queue is fine, Christine. I just can't get to all the comments. Otherwise we wouldn't have a show, right? Yes. Angry emojis don't help the show. Either do thumbs down. Listen, I want to keep going, but I'm going to stop if it continues. I've got to draw the line. I got to draw the line. If we fulfilled our 9 o'clock and people continue to keep doing this, just stop. We are just watching a show together. No, Chuck, they don't. Because this has been a pretty shitty week for that. So just everyone leave each other alone, okay? And let's just watch and let's watch the show.
Same pointed questions.
I'd really appreciate it.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Brennan, this
all right.
Same pointed questions.
I have went after Trey Gowdy plenty of times. I think Trey Gowdy is wishy-washy. I think he is loyal to the FBI. I think that's what he does. I don't like his takes a lot of the time. And if you are a constitutionalist and a criminal, scratch that. If you are a constitutionalist who believes in the rule of law and that the rule of law is blind, I think this comment is a little naive. This is literally saying these people are not going to be held accountable, and that's okay. No, it's not. And here is what he says. Maybe when I listen to it in a different light, I might change my mind. I'm going to listen to it now, and then I'll tell you when we listen to it. Let me know what you think too. But here is Trey Gowdy on Fox with Bret Baier. Tell me what you think.
Pointed questions. Trey.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Brennan, the same allergy to the truth that he has now. He is allergic to the truth. He lied in that part of his testimony, and he lied about whether or not the dossier was used in court filings. The statute's wrong, but to Leslie's point, handcuffs are not the only way we mete out accountability in this culture. There's shame, there's history. It's not just prison. There are other ways we mete out accountability, and the fact that somebody's not wearing handcuffs does not, to me, think that what they did is okay, because it wasn't.
Byron, last word on this. You guys are going to come back later in the show a couple other times.
Yep, I didn't like it when I first hit it. I don't like it now. This isn't somebody expunging a parking ticket. This isn't a group of people who decided to take a few more brownies from the local Girl Scout box from in the refrigerator in the all-employee cafeteria than they were supposed to. This isn't somebody cheating on a midterm. This is treason. Any way you cut it, it's treason. And it's the deep-seated rot in Washington, D.C. that needs to be ripped from the root in that suckhole of a swamp. And it's so fortuitous that they built it on a swamp, because that's literally what it is. It's a bog of putrid refuse, bubbling and oozing in its own stink. And I'm sorry, but public shame is not good enough. No, it is not. Absolutely not, Trey fucking Gowdy. This is why people like you and Jason Chaffetz, people like Lindsey Graham, people like Michelle Bachmann, the neocons, the reformed Tea Party fake wannabe Republicans, This is why that the stench is on you, because you people were in charge. You had the subpoena powers. You could have done something, but you didn't do it. You played grab ass and you went on stage and you went ahead and you hit them hard and you talked tough. And in the end, you didn't fucking do nothing. Just like Jim Jordan, just like Lindsey Graham, you promised the world and you didn't deliver. And you lied to us. You told us all this shit. And then, it was all just blown in the wind. Now, I'll get in there and we'll prosecute. We'll hold them accountable. We'll make arrests. You didn't do anything. You gave them qualified immunity. You shoved it under the rug. You did the bidding of Biden. You did the bidding of Obama. You didn't stand up for Trump. You didn't do what you should have done. And in 2016, you should have rained holy hellfire on the Democratic Party. You had all three levels of government. You had the House, you had the Senate, you had the gubernatorial, you had the mayoral office, you had the executive branch, you had SCOTUS, you had it all. And you didn't do shit. And now we're finally finding it come out because the statute of limitations are all running dry. So Trey Gowdy, no, public embarrassment. There is no embarrassment anymore. Nobody will take this seriously until they leave in handcuffs, until they are shoved into the back of a car and taken to an undisclosed location, and until they are put on trial and they are in orange jumpsuits. Nothing is going to change until that day takes place. So Trey Gowdy, go fuck yourself. I can't. For someone so freaking smart, someone so intelligent, someone who connects the dots so well, he's such a coward. Oh, man. God, that pisses me off. Pisses me off. They're all a member of the same country club, the same colleges. They own the same business. They all are friends. This is just a giant joke. These people eat lunch together every day. They argue in Senate oversight committees and open door hearings, and they scream and yell at each other. And then they go behind and laugh and tell jokes. And Sean Hannity sucks up to Newsom and gives him a high five, but talks shit about him from the 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock hour and calls him new scum. But they're best buddies. I'm just done with it. I'm just done. I'm done with the airs. I'm never going to be at the RNC. I'm never going to be at TPUSA. I'm never going to be on Fox. And you know what? I'm totally fine with that. I don't care. You got to call it out. You got to call out the hypocrisy. They're just a bunch of talkers, and they don't do anything. And they never will. You had Hillary Clinton. You had her. And they fucking let her off the hook. So, yeah, that's what I think about Trey Gowdy. And I like him. Smart, intelligent. Probably could be, in my opinion, one of the best legal analysts on TV. Now that Mark Levin is just like, over the wild blue yonder. I don't know where Mark's at. Mark's just... But Trey Gowdy has the potential. And he continues to sell his soul. I don't hate Jim Jordan. I don't hate anybody, Barbara. What has Jim Jordan done? Can you just tell me what Jim Jordan's done? Can you tell me what convictions took place? Can you tell me over January 6th, all the blowhard stuff about J6? What about the unconstitutional election in 2020? What did we do about the mass ballots that went out when we overrode states' constitutions and FEC voting regulations? What happened when we used state powers during COVID to go ahead and usurp the power of the voter in states, especially in the blue counties and the swing states? Did anyone do anything about that? What happened to Hillary Clinton? Why isn't she in jail for Benghazi for deleting 33,000 emails? for hiring a bleach bit company to wipe her servers clean, for destroying her Blackberries, for having a cease and desist letter, from having a stay order on all evidence, and then she destroyed it? Why isn't she in jail for tampering? Why did she take compartmentalized TS and SCI equipment, software, hardware, and data, and put it in an unsecured server in her house? Why is she not in jail? I don't hate Jim Jordan. I don't hate Trey Gowdy. I hate the fact that these people continue to let us down and we continue to believe them. That's what I have a problem with. Oh, Whitewater, real estate, savings and loan, Haiti, the Clinton Foundation. Oh man, just don't even get me started. I could write a book on that lady if 500 people haven't already done it, but it doesn't mean anything. But I'm not wrong. Because I'm not wrong until I am. You know what I mean, Mary? Because deep down, you know I'm right. You know I'm right. Yeah, every single one of them deserve to be held accountable. But the problem is, they're all dirty. That's the truth. They're all dirty. So I want to be wrong. I would love this would be the first time that I'm wrong. Well, you know what I mean. I've got a pretty good track record over the last 4.5 years. I'll put my numbers against anybody. But the level of dedication that it would take to get an arrest and a conviction is there's too many people that can be impacted. You can't arrest Hillary because she knows A, B, C, and D. You can't go after this person because they know A, B, C, and D. There's too much dirt. There's too much baggage. Because in the end, it's literally the convicts running the jailhouse. They're not all of a sudden going to become altruistic and be the wardens. I don't hate Jim Jordan. I don't hate Trey Gowdy. I don't hate Chaffetz. I don't hate Mitch McConnell. I don't hate Nancy Pelosi. I don't hate Nader and that scum-sucking Blumenthal. I hate what they stand for, which is nothing. They're not leaders. They're elected representatives to speak for their constituents. They aren't designated pundits on Fox News. They're not designed to cowtail and to suck up to political action committees and special interest groups. It's not their job to go ahead and prosecute and persecute. Their job is to appropriate dollars to pass legislation that helps their constituents at the state level. That is their job. The Senate is a mouthpiece between the House and the President of the United States, and they have veto power on both. That's their job. The SCOTUS is designed to go ahead and use the Constitution to weigh all decisions and interpret the laws set before them to find if they are constitutional. The executive branch is to enforce the rules of law that the SCOTUS and the state legislature and the Senate put forth. That is their job. They are the lead prosecutors of the land. And none of them are doing their fucking jobs. Now, do I have faith 6 months from now? Maybe something up? Sure. I've got to believe that Donald Trump, because if not this team, then who? This is very reminiscent of a football team that hasn't won the Super Bowl, or a Canadian hockey team that hasn't won the Stanley Cup in 32 years, who has the dream roster. They've got the goalie. They've got the top 6 pairing. They've got the bottom 6 pairing. They got the top 2 pair and bottom 2 pair. They've got the backup goaltender. They got a great special teams coach. They're killer on the penalty kill. They've got grit. They've got speed. They've got tenacity. They've got experience. They've got rookies. They've got seniors. They've got everything they need. The only thing they don't have, they've got the capers. They got the baked potato. They got the sour cream, the chives, the cheese. They've got the Lowry seasoning salt. They got the A1 steak sauce. They got the knife and the fork and the plate. The one thing they don't have is the fucking steak. All they need is the Stanley Cup, and they'll be champions. We've got it all. We've got the FBI, we got the CIA, we got the DOJ, we have the ONI, we have Department of Homeland Security, we have the Treasury Department, we've got the United States Marshals, we've got the governors, we've got the House, we've got the Senate, we got the executive branch, we got POTUS, we got the federal court judges, we got the gubernatorial, we got it all. I want the fucking steak. I want the fucking steak. Put it on the plate. Serve it up. I'm ready to eat. That's what I want. Every single person should want the same thing. I don't want any more salad. I don't want any more bread. I've had enough wine and I had enough whiskey. I want a steak. And I want it on my plate and I want it blood rare. Knock its horns off, wipe its ass, and stick it on my plate. I'm ready to feast. And until I get the steak, I'm not going to be happy with the fat. I don't want the talk. I want the action. I want galvanized steel on wrists. I want gavels. I want search warrants. I want morning raids. I want jail for people. Or I want you to stand in front of every single one of us and apologize and beg for forgiveness that you lied to us and told us all this shit was happening and it was a lie. That's what I want. Is that what you want? That's what I want. That's what I want. Pelosi gets close to hate in my book. Barbara, I'll give you that. Hillary Clinton's that for me. I don't really hate anybody. I just judge people on their merit. And when they have none left, I've got nothing for them. Nothing. I don't have anything. Anybody that makes $174,000 a year and makes $412 million and outperforms Warren Buffett on the stock market, they're fucking cheating. And they need to go to jail. And Nancy Pelosi most assuredly needs to go to jail. You know what I mean? Chuck Peterson donated $200. You are nailing it tonight, Matt. Great show, and it comes with great heart. Chuck, I love you. Said, can't wait to see it. Can't wait to give you a big hug, dude. I'm so excited to see you. Fat on grilled steak is good, but not just fat alone. You got to have the juice. You got to have a little bit of the fat with a good piece of rare meat. The fat is the best part of a steak. I eat it up, but not alone. No, I don't just eat the fat. Sorry. That's right. Make an arrest or stand in front of the United States and of America and all of its constituents and beg for forgiveness because you're a liar. I want atonement or accountability, one of the two, and I'm good with both. Both sound delicious. It's the difference between a New York strip and a ribeye, a Delmonico or filet mignon, a baseball steak and a porterhouse. Don't care as long as it's steak. Tri-tip's good too. A good round is okay as long as you marinate and beat the shit out of it. Whatever it is, just give me some red meat. Don't care. Atonement or accountability. I want that shirt. I'm going to make that shirt. Atonement with a line, accountability. That's what I want. One of the other. Or both. We lied about this. We deceived you, the American people. We were wrong. Okay, cool. Thanks for owning it. What were you not wrong about? Okay, go get the accountability we want. Accountability or atonement? Oh, that's going to be a great... Don't let me forget that. That's going to be a shirt. Thank you, Chuck, for the donation. You're amazing. Everybody's amazing. We love you guys. I've had Candace Owens on the show, and I'm going to have to say, this is probably going to be the last Candace Owens piece that I'm going to do. Listen, I'm not going to kick somebody while they're down. She's toast. Like, she's nuts. And the only people who follow Candace Owens are people who hate Jews and read the National Enquirer. And if you're one of those people, I love you. God love you. I'm not insulting you. But this lady is a couple cans short of a six pack. Okay, she's not firing on all cylinders. She has been interviewing Harvey Weinstein and saying that he was set up, saying that he was a part of the Me Too and that, he was set up by somebody, and she's been flirting with it. flirting with it. Melissa, Melissa, I agree with you. You said that applies to this administration. For the first 6 months, we haven't seen anything. So until I do, we're starting to see it now. But you're right. Right now, okay, we've got all the capers, the baked potato, the butter. No steak yet. I want the steak. And I'm not patient. Like I'm not willing to wait another 3 years. I'm with you, sister. It needs to happen now. Okay. Harvey Weinstein, Candace Owens. Candace has been trying to get him to say this now for a better part of 6-7 months, as she has taken on his case and has given this sick fuck a platform. Pardon my French. But she is desperately trying to get Weinstein to blame this on the Jews. And she is just leading him. Remember, she's just asking questions. She's just curious. She's noticing things. These are all trigger words for people who hate the Jews. I'm just noticing some things. Fucking listen, I would respect these people so much more if you would just come out and say, I hate all Jews. But that's not what they do. I hate Zionism. I hate Israel. No, you hate fucking Jews. Can you stop? Just stop pretending. We all know. Your mask has slipped. You hate Jews. We get it. Just like Klan members. They hate black people. Well, black people have their place in society. It's just not next to me in my house or with my woman or my sister. My sister's mine. And no uppity black boy is going to come in here and tell you hate black people. Okay? Just say it. There's people I don't like. It's fine. Just say it. But nobody cares. You're entitled to hate people if you want to hate people based upon their skin, their creed, their sexual disposition, whatever. Go ahead. But just stop pretending, because we all know it's so fucking tired. Candace Owens doesn't like Jews because Ben Shapiro hurt her. Show us on the doll where Ben Shapiro hurt you. We all know. And you got postpartum depression. Your baby brain's completely fucked up. Your husband is a nutty. And you've lost the plot. Just say it. Totally fine. Here's Candace Owens trying to desperately get Harvey Weinstein to blame it on the Jews, and it completely backfires. I literally LOL'd. Laughed my ass off. Here it is.
But have you considered that it could be deeper, that there was somebody who wanted you put away, that there may have been someone who...
Here's number one. Something deeper. Something that, I don't know, starts with Satan.
Wanted your company, because to me, there is just overwhelming evidence that you were set up here. It looks to me like a modern day hit. I don't know who you upset. I don't know what they were after, but it just looks to me like a rigged system and they took you out. To me, it looks like it was just a show trial and the outcome was already determined before you even stepped into that courtroom. I do think that you stepped on somebody's toes. Like there's somebody's toes that you stepped on that you may not have been aware of when you were in Hollywood, because you had a lot of power. You had a lot of power.
You know, I can't say who.
Why not? Why can't you say who?
8.
What do you have to lose?
Because I'm not sure that I'm right.
You say, I think. Maybe.
Harvey Weinstein has more honor and integrity than Candace fucking Owens. I could be wrong, so I don't want to say it. Oh my God. Harvey Weinstein has more honor and integrity than Candace Owens 9 times. She's already said, we're not even done. 9 times. Ferris was absent 9 times. 9 times, Mrs. Bueller. I'm looking right at it. Grace! Grace! 9 times.
Really want to push you on this point, Harvey, because I think it's very significant.
10.
You had the greatest movies that were in Hollywood. You had a lot of power, and I'm wondering if there was anybody in Hollywood that you
11.
may have been fighting with at that time. That just anything that could have been going on, because I think there's something bigger happening here.
There wasn't a fight per se, but the establishment, I would not say, was my friends.
Right, and who
could that juice be? Who could the Jewies be? Who could Zionists? I'm sorry, I've got a little bit of a cold. 12 times. 12 times. Just say the Jews. Just say Jewy, Jews. Just say it. Say it's the Jews. Please, for the love of God, let me get that soundbite so I can grift off of it and make money. Weinstein says Jews set him up. Jews turn on their own.
Establishment in Hollywood.
It's normally the big studios, but I can't.
And who owns the studios? Sorry. I didn't say Jews. I didn't mean that. But I meant Jews.
Say that they were part of this.
Right. No, I'm just wondering, like, who in the end, who owns all those movies now?
Is it the Jews?
Who owns your catalog?
Who owns the catalog? That's 14, by the way. 14.
We sold the catalog to a company called Be-In, you know what I mean, which is owned by the Qatari government.
Wah, wah, wah. Some pretty good wind. I held that note for a while. Make my daughter proud with those lungs. No! Oh, God, come on. Just look at her face. Fuck. Did you just say Qatarians? Well, there goes Tucker and I's check. The entire segment I got to cut out. I've already deleted the spammers. You guys, I'm all over it. I love my mods, but the king mod is here, okay? Look at her face. Look at how pissed she is when he says this. I mean, watch her face change. She's like, I'm going to get him to say it. I'm going to get him to say it. Watch.
A company called Be-In.
Now, who owns your catalog? What happened to your company?
We sold the catalog to a company called Be-In, you know what I mean, which is owned by the Qatari government. And
interesting. Not what I was looking for. Fucking Jew. Come on! Barry Morgenstein, call in. Tell me this is not complete bullshit. I mean, this is ridiculous.
And we sold the other part of the library to a company called Spyglass.
Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah? Well, who owns Spyglass?
And Lantern, which is owned by the Saudi Arabians.
Son of a bitch! Can I get a Jew in here? Oh, yeah? Well, who's your lawyer? I bet he's Jewish. Remember, I'm just asking questions. I'm just curious. I'm noticing things, okay? I'm just noticing some things.
Government.
Very interesting.
Very interesting. In fact, we're going to go ahead and end that interview because it's not Jewish enough for me.
I'm asking these questions because my investigation into this isn't going to stop.
What? It's until I find some Jews. Oh no, this isn't going. I'll tell you, I'll find the Jews. I will find them. I will. And I will not stop at nothing until the Jews are held accountable. Oh, we're going to find the Jews. You better believe it. And if we don't, we will make them up. When we find them, we will kill them. Oh, I will not stop. This fucking lady. You don't deserve your audience. You don't deserve, you're about to have it all taken away. You're going to go the way of Alex Jones. But he's already hating the Jews. We will find them. You better believe that. Give me a fucking, just what a kook. What a fuck, you're hot. What is wrong with you? You are smoking. You're a Nubian princess. You've got brains. You've got money. You have a successful show. And what the fuck are you doing? Interesting. Interesting. I think I'm going to push further. I wish Damani was here. Oh, God, I wish Damani was here. Oh, I wish Barry was here. I just don't. I can't explain it. I can't help you. Oh my God. I want AI to put her in a Nazi Oberstleutnant's outfit doing that spiel. Yes, but who really did it? God, she's so talented. She's so smart. But this is just like watching somebody douse themselves in gasoline and they can't get the spark to ignite, but they are going to succeed no matter. I will burn this down. I will burn down this house in order to save it. Swifty City says, "Hi, Dad." Hi, Hayden. My lovely daughter. Is this my daughter or are you a Jew? I think you... Oh, God. I can't clip this. This is a Nick Fuentes crash. This is that good. Except it's polar opposite and antithetical to Nick. Nick would be like, oh, Candace, listen, I hated Jews long before you. Knock it off, you're grifting. Matt, please never go off the cliff of social media. I won't. I'm too grounded. I'm too old for that shit. I just don't have it in me. I don't believe people. I don't trust people. That's why I will never do it. Because I don't trust people enough. Hayden, what are you doing, sweetie? Are you feeling any better, honey? I love you. Oh, I got to get a monocle. That's right. I think I see something. I'm going to need to see your papers, please. That's who I'm trying to sound, is like Colonel Klink from Hogan's Heroes. That's what I'm doing. Damn it, Karen. Senators, my fur babies are looking at me like I'm crazy because I'm laughing so hard about it. It's just like, can I hug you? Do you need a hug? Come here. Like, just come. Oh, you knucklehead. Stop. Just knock it up. God, you can stop this at any time. You're about to be sued by France. I mean, you have an entire country coming after you. I know it's France. I mean, fuck the French, but come on. I mean, even they can win, kinda. Barbara says, how about getting Sean Ryan on my show? Sean is so big. Sean has no reason to come on my show. I would love to talk to Sean. I'd love to talk to Joe Rogan. But I'd love to talk to Jocko, and I would love to sit down and have a conversation with a few people. But it's just not, we're not big enough yet. And I don't know. I mean, the T.S. Dixon interview was great, and we're going to get more people in-house. But I know nothing. I see nothing. Anyway, we're going to continue to do what we're doing. I mean, we are on RSBN this week. We had T.S. Dixon in the house. That's a pretty good jump. We just got to keep reaching out and getting people interested. We have a full lineup coming this week, so we're going to be good. I got to get out of here in a minute. A woke pastor tells children that the rainbow and Noah's Ark story is a symbol of LGBTQ. Oh.
Yeah, Micah, it meant that there was dry land that the dove could find the olive leaf. That was a symbol that God used and that we continue to use today at our church. What other symbol from the Noah's Ark story can you remember? There's another symbol in that story. Yes, Carter, a rainbow. Look, we've got some rainbows. I have a rainbow bracelet today. A rainbow. Do you know that rainbows are another kind of symbol beyond what God intended the rainbow to mean? Jerian. It is a symbol for LGBTQ plus people. That is right. And they're beautiful. I agree. I'm going to show you. There are doors with rainbow decals.
Cavallo Graviera I think is what it's called, which is the goat cheese and flour and egg. Bake it and pour 100 proof rum on it and light it on fire. Yeah, or Casari. Yeah. My Greek grandmother and my yaya and papu would probably slap me, but I think that's what it's called. Good stuff. Barry! Call in! Call me now! 276-200-2105. We were just invoking your name. Call. Do you need an invite? Dude, I was just invoking your name. I'm like, Lord, please deliver Barry. Make him come here so I could show him Candace Owens and laugh at her. Oh, brother, can you call in? Tell me you can't. Tell me you've had a few drinks too. We'll see if Barry can come in. Finishing the rest of this.
In each one of those pictures, whose doors are those? They are the churches. All of the doors.
Barry, it's 276-200-2105. Or if you want me to send you an invite or call in, you pick which one. I'm willing to stay on late to get you on.
To the outside, we have those rainbow decals on our doors. And that is a symbol to people who come to our church that all people.
276-200-2105.
Are welcome here. They're a symbol so that everyone can see, but there is a special, it's a special welcome to a group of people which we have already named, and those are people who call themselves LGBTQ+, right? They might call themselves other kinds of things too. Katie, what do you call yourself?
I call myself the same word that I just talked about a little bit up there. I identify as a queer woman, which means that I'm attracted to other women and not men.
Okay, so Katie identifies as queer. When people see those rainbows on the doors, it is a symbol to them that they are really welcome in this church. I would also like to say
276-200-2105. 2105. Barry, it's right here, Bubba. It's right here. Oop. It's right here. Bring to front. There it is. 276-200-2105. It's the giant phone number. Okay. All right. Let's listen to the rest of this bullshit.
We do have people here, part of our church family, who are LGBTQ+. We do already. So when those people see the rainbows around our church, that means that that it's a symbol of our love to them, that we want them here to be part of our church family too.
Okay, the last sentence is fine. You can be a part of the church family. Genesis 9:13-17. After the flood, God placed a rainbow in the sky as a covenant with Noah and all living creatures that he would never again destroy the earth with a flood. The rainbow is a symbol of God's promise, mercy, and faithfulness. It represents hope, renewal, and divine grace, not sexuality or politics. This is complete dog shit. I have no problem with my friends who are lesbian, gay, queer. It's busy. Try it again. Try it again. Oh, thanks, Ginger. I just can't make it any bigger. Otherwise, it's going to take up the entire screen. I don't know what to do. I think every gay, lesbian, transgender, enjoy God, go to church, embrace. But these people, here's one thing I never had happen, ever, is all the times going to church, I never had any pastor, priest, father, clergy, anybody. And we went to multiple denominations. I went to a synagogue once. My mother was really considering converting. Never did anyone tell me about sexual preference. No one ever told me about any of that type of stuff. That was never discussed. Oh, Barry. Barry, let me send you an invite. I don't know why it's busy. That's stupid. Here, I'm going to text you right now. All right. Hi. My phone? Just ignore the porn. Oh, shit. Copy. Okay, Barry. I'm sending it to your phone. There's your invite. It's on your phone. And you should be able to click that and dial in. And you don't have to have a picture. So this is, I believe, a Protestant church. And like I said, I don't have any problem. Gay, lesbian, transgender, go to church, get the word of God, do all those things. But I just want honesty. Barry, can you hear us? Hey, Barry, can you hear us? Test 1 2. Test 1 2. Barry, can you hear us? Barry, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh, I think we can. Give me a test 1 2.
Hey, test 1 2 3.
Awesome. Okay.
All right.
So,
I'm in. Finally.
All right. So
do it.
Good. So I like occasionally on a show, I'll be like, God, I wish Barry was here because Candace Owens was on today and she was interviewing Harvey Weinstein. Did you see this?
I caught the tail end of it. Yeah.
Oh, so you even heard my German impressions?
No. I unfortunately I came in the tail end of your show, so I missed that too.
You have to watch it.
Yeah,
Barry, you have to go back.
Well.
You're going to piss yourself. What do you think?
Wow. Okay.
What do you think about this, man? What complete? So Weinstein, it's like she's goading him 14 times. She tries to get him to say it's the Jews, and at the end, he's like, oh well, Qatar, and then she's like, oh yeah,
right.
What about this spyglass company? Oh, it's Saudi Arabia, and she's just like, all the people who pay me, son of a bitch.
I know, right? That's what I caught. That was actually pretty funny. That was pretty good.
Dude, what are they doing, man? Come on, can you put this into words? I mean, we've talked about this before, but what's your take on this? Are you laughing or does this scare you just a little bit?
Which part?
Just, someone like Candace Owens, literally, who just is like,
go ahead. She's lost her freaking mind. It's like, I used to love her. I remember years ago, I remember she was once on my bucket list for somebody I'd like to get in the studio to do her headshots. And now I despise her. She just turned into this crazy, like Israel, anti-Jewish witch, I don't know what the hell. I just don't know what the change was. It's like, unfortunately, there's a few other people in media too. I used to admire this doing the same shit. Oh, shoot. Sorry. I can say that.
No, you can do that here. But you remember when we were doing the photo shoot, we talked about this, about that person you just mentioned, and we're not going to talk about. And now
actually, now I don't think I care anymore because it's so bad. It's like, what? Every time I see a preview of his show, it's like, okay, it's pro-Palestine, anti-Israel. Again, it's like, don't you have it? That's really every show. And he keeps getting these crazy guests. Like the other day, some Bernie Sanders supporter, and these are the people you're bringing on as experts. It's like, it's like an obsession. It's like really weird. It's like, it's really just disappointing.
Listen, like I said, you can question Israel. We've talked about this. It's okay to question a government, but when it's literally like, well, what don't you like about the Israeli government? Let's dig into it. And they're like, Jews. I'm like, okay, but that doesn't. That's not quite the same. It's not quite the same thing. I think we have a communication issue here. You're not anti-Zionism. You fucking hate Jews. That's your problem.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, hey, even Martin Luther King Jr. once said, if anti-Israel, it means you're anti-Jewish. It's like anti-Zionism is anti-Jewish. So,
right,
I agree.
But Louis Farrakhan was like considered batshit crazy 2 years ago. And now Louis Farrakhan seems like somewhat rational compared to these people. Even Louis Farrakhan's like, this is a little too anti-Jew even for me. So it's just David Duke's coming out and he's like, can we lay off the Jews a little bit? Can we focus on black people?
Like right, exactly. David Duke is like, oh, calm down, guys. You're a little.
This is a little too. At least I did it under a hood. You guys are out in the wide open. I mean, holy
exactly.
shit.
I know. It's like it's true though. It's like, and more and more people just like coming out. It's like, what's so hard to get about this? I mean, like, look, Israel's doing everything. They're just trying to survive. They're doing us a favor. They're trying to kill this horrible enemy who will come after us if they had the chance to, and they're not starving the children there. It's a bunch of bull, so just look at the facts. It's very easy. They're the only country who does try to aid. We didn't send food to German children and Japanese children. We were
no. We did. It's like. Let me get this straight. They came in, they killed 2,000, they took hostages, they cut women from anus to the middle of their back, they raped them, they cut their Achilles tendon, they smashed babies against walls, but you've got to feed them?
Right, exactly.
Listen, have you seen some of the? Listen, I don't mean to be graphic, but most of America have not seen the videos. They are not.
I haven't. No, I've heard descriptions, but
they're horrible.
I haven't seen them.
Barry, they're absolutely atrocious, and the media should be showing this shit every time one of these pundits come on here and start talking about Hamas and Gaza. They should show these videos and say this is why America is softening. Some people are softening because they haven't seen it. And I'm telling you, they've got to show this shit because it's horrendous and it's horrible and it's made of nightmares. But at least it'll show how fucking barbaric these people are.
Right. Yeah. Instead, the New York Times shows a fake photo of a poor kid who's suffering from some disease, but they're blaming it on malnutrition and, pretty much saying, well, this is what Israel is doing. This kid's starving, but it then turned out it was a complete fake story. Shocking New York Times, but, but that's. Well, that's what they should be showing. I just saw a video today from, I think it's a little older. I don't know who he is. I think he's an IDF soldier, and he's like in tears, and he's like saying how he saw what he saw personally. I think videos, and also in person. And the stuff he was saying is like, I don't want to hear anything about the Gaza people in Gaza. I just don't want to hear it. F them. It's like I just don't. I don't care. And it's like, and unfortunately, the children who are suffering, but that's at the hands of Hamas. It's just simple as that. It just.
It's just like, listen, this is really simple. Surrender, turn over Hamas, and bring bring every single captive, dead or alive, back to you to Israel soil. That's it.
Right.
But you know what? They won't do it.
Yeah, and more people I'm seeing is like, oh God, this has to stop. The poor people in Gaza is like, well, what about the poor hostages? And what about the poor people on October 7th? You're not talking about that.
How many people say, you know what, those poor pilots in Pearl Harbor?
Yeah. I think
those poor pilots, they didn't get to go home to their Japanese wives. They sacrificed for the greater good. Who fucking has ever said that in their life?
Exactly. I know. It's just...
Those Germans that had to take off those shoes of all those Jews. Can you imagine what their fingers and hands smelled like at the end of the day? God, I feel so sorry for those fucking people. What about some of them that actually got some of the Cyclone B on their fingers and hands? God, they must have ruined their clothes. What the fuck is wrong with people?
Yeah. Or what about those poor Japanese soldiers who had to march for the Bataan Death March along with those soldiers? Those poor guys. They had to
those Colombian neckties. Those poor Japanese people, because they came up with the Colombian neckties, but those damn Colombians stole it from the Japanese. That's cultural appropriation,
Right, exactly. It's like somebody said the other day, like Israel's the only country that's not allowed to win a war. It's like,
oh, that's genius.
Yeah, I know. It's so true. Or as we said, they're responsible for feeding their citizens or bringing them food, which they do. That's sometimes I don't always agree. Sometimes I think they're a little too nice. They are trying their best to feed some of the children or whatever.
Here's a serious question. Listen, Israel is great at a lot of things. They have an amazing intel apparatus. They have a great military. But what they're really good at is, why didn't they just sue Hamas? Wouldn't that have been easier?
Exactly. They're gonna
take them to court.
Hire Alan Dershowitz.
Get Dershowitz. That's right. Get a couple Steens and Goldbergs and put them together. Have them go over there and prosecute. That would have been the best way.
Yeah, as we know, there's nothing deadlier than a Jewish lawyer.
And then threaten not to pay them. And watch what happens.
Exactly.
Oh,
Yeah.
Barry, I love you, buddy. I love you.
Just for your listeners, I'm Jewish, so I can say that.
So, and I'm not, and I can say it
right.
too.
You can say that too. Yeah,
I am an honorary Jew.
Well,
So
apparently, you almost were. So what I just heard.
that's true. Well, my
Yeah,
mother,
your mom,
but my grandmother was Jewish.
Oh, she was. Oh no, I didn't know that.
Yep.
So you're a little member of the tribe there.
Well, there's something you need to know that I have never told you, and this is straight up truth. And we've never talked about it, not because I'm trying to hide it. I've talked about it on the show.
Right.
Does the name Speer mean anything to you? Speer?
Just Albert Speer. That's the one I know of.
Why don't you go look him up and look at a picture of my dad and look at Albert?
Oh, really?
He's my he's my relation.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Wait, so, what was his title again? I know the name.
He was fourth part, like he was a media something and intermediate to Hitler for propaganda. He wasn't Goebbels, but he was very, very close.
Yeah.
He's my uncle.
Right. He was
not my direct uncle. He's my great uncle. But here's the thing: my grandma Schwartz, my grandmother Schwartz, she fled Germany. She fled Germany.
They didn't get along.
Well, no, but that's the thing. I've got both of that in my family. I have my grandmother who fled Nazi Germany, and then Albert Speer is actually relation. That is 100% true. I put it up on the show one time and showed a picture of him and showed a picture of my dad, and people shat themselves. They're like, "He's not lying." I'm like, "No, I'm not."
Wow, I gotta look that up. Well, you gotta show me that. Send me that to your dad,
I will.
That's wild. That's a book in itself, right there. Yeah,
it is. It is. Hey, speaking of book, watch this segue. Look, I'm like a pro. Speaking of book, tell everyone about your new coffee table book coming out, Barry.
Yeah. Oh, cool. I appreciate the plug. It's Well, the official release date is November 4th. November 4th. But we are doing pre-sales. So it's my rock and roll, as you know. Not everybody knows I started off as a rock and roll photographer. So I finally put out a coffee table book, and we're really excited. It's called Rock and Soul Portraits by Barry Morgenstein, and we're just really excited. It's got a lot of pre-orders already, and but I can't wait for it to come out and actually do some book signings too. But yeah, so it's actually being published by Ballast Books, which is a really great publishing company who does a lot of military books, veterans books. So I'm proud to be with them. And if you go to Ballast Books website, if you want to check out the pre-sales, feel free to go there. Check it out.
So I am putting that in chat right now, so everyone has that.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
You can go there. I've already pre-ordered mine. I would recommend
you. Thank you.
Well, you knew that.
I can't keep track. Sorry.
Listen, you're gonna stop drinking before we interact. By the way, John Stillwell donated $10. Said the best damn show ever. Listen, the donations are incredible tonight. $523. I can't thank you guys enough. Do me a favor, if you have a little bit left, go on over and my good friend Barry Morgenstein, pick up his book. This book is going to be incredible. He gave me the honor of actually participating just a little bit in just a couple of little things, and it means the world to me. Yeah. I can't wait to display it behind me, man. Barry, I love you and I appreciate you.
Thank you. You too. I'd love to call back anytime too.
Well, you're always welcome on the show. And you're going to be in Kentucky. No, you're going to be in Tennessee. No. You're going to be in Nashville.
I'm going to Virginia first, September 23rd, 24th for headshots, Alexandria, so DC area. September 16th and 17th, I'm shooting in Nashville. It's been a while. It's been a number of years since I've been there shooting, so excited about getting back in town there to do some headshots.
Great headshots, guys. If you have not had a chance, go see Barry's work. You can go to barrymorgenstein.com. He's America's headshot photographer. He did the entire Don't Unfriend Me show. We're going to try to go back for Christmas, maybe go up to New York and see him, but go give him a chance. Barry, I love you. I appreciate you, buddy. Thanks for calling in and laughing with me. You got to go watch that segment, though. Go back and watch it.
I'm definitely going to do that.
All right, buddy.
Great talking. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye. Barry Morgenstein, everybody. Good friend of the show. Someone who we love having on. He is a hoot and a half. and he's made me an honorary Jew. So listen, there is something special about being able to make jokes and not offending people because they know your character. It's the one thing I love about Barry. He knows who I am, and I would never ever make a joke like that unless I knew him. And you can have that relationship with people if they just know your true intentions. The book is not on audio. It is a photograph book about all of his rock and roll photography. So you really have to see it. It's eye candy and it's amazing. Folks, listen, this has been a great show. It is 10 o'clock. I have to go pay attention to my wife. If you have not had a chance, go to Ballast Books, Ballast, Ballast Books, and you can actually pre-order. And he is signing all of his pre-order books and he's autographing them. I better get a special one. I'm actually in the foreword on the book, which really means the world to me. I'm on the back cover, and he thanks the Don't Unfriend Me show. Barry, it happens to be just somebody who I absolutely love and adore. Consider an amazing friend, and I hope you enjoyed having him on the show. We're going to do this again tomorrow. It's Friday night. Olivia will be on. I will be on. We're going to have another great show. It'll be a good time and fun. Thank you for all the donations. Thank you for everybody who pitched in. I had fun tonight. We'll do more tomorrow. Thank you guys for laughing with me, and thanks for watching the Don't Unfriend Me show. Please share, like, and subscribe. Good night, and I'll see you tomorrow at 7.
Adjusting transmitter output. This is the Don't Unfriend Me show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.